And I found a gorgeous car. It looks dirty. Let's see. Okay. Let's see if there's any new cars. I should chill by, yeah. Okay, just make some ads.
Oh.
Nice. Dang, you can't even see it well. take it.
Yeah! Haha! Yeah, yeah!
Woo-ha! 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 Woo-ha!
Yeah! Haha! Yeah, yeah!
Alright.
Woohoo!
Sounds reasonable. Let's do this.
Nice.
Yeah!
No. It's not your life right now we're looking for. No. Oh yeah, the entire Halloween.
To get pregnant. Now, my family is super religious. Like, will not be happy or celebrate until you're married if possible.
All we've got to do is just keep our pants on.
So I figured she'd wait until she was engaged and that it was happening soon. Well, today, I found out by accident that Libby is 8 weeks pregnant and planning to secretly announce something at our reception. It's like,
Okay, well, I can't get engaged, but she can't stop me from getting pregnant.
it's giving...
One-upper.
One-upper. I am taking her mental health problems into account. I am. No one knows except 3
Giving
people.
one-upper.
She's taken so much from my life. I have no idea if she's announcing her pregnancy or if they're engaged, but she will try to make it about her. She told the family she plans on using the name we picked out for 3 years if it's a boy.
What the hell?
I just want to uninvite her, but I'm not supposed to know about the pregnancy. And outside of that, I don't really have a justifiable reason that won't make me look like the a-hole. I already notified my maid of honor and planner, my 2 besties, and they want a game plan to avoid some issues, but WTF, I'm not spending all this money for a family feud at our celebration of marriage. Ooh, yeah. That's a tough one. Yeah. I mean, at this point, like, you do know about it. She's your sister, so it's hard. It's hard not to include her. It just seems like she just keeps finding ways to try and one-up you, despite you setting boundaries.
Oh, that's not very nice.
It's a tough one because she is your sister, and like, could there be a way of, you know, making sure your bridal party and your mom just sort of stop her from doing anything? But like, I just feel like if she wants to cause a scene, she will cause a scene, you know? Ugh. The fact that you're worried about this leading up to your wedding is so annoying. Or at least your wedding reception, you know what I mean? Today's video is sponsored by Bombas. Introducing the Bombas Sunday Slipper. And listen, calling it a slipper feels like the understatement of the year. These things feel like my feet are being hugged by a baby lamb with separation anxiety. Bombas Sunday Slipper are the perfect gift for your whole family. If you want to give people a gift that they will actually use, I've been living in these for the past 2 months. The inside and the outside are made of this super soft Sherpa. Warm, but not sweaty. For the most part. And the grips on the bottom help me speed walk around my house like a ping pong ball. Bombas is a purpose-driven brand with a 1 purchased, 1 donated policy. They've donated 150 million essential clothing items to date, and they come with a 100% happiness guarantee. Not only do your feet win, your conscience wins. That's the type of multitasking I need as an adult. Feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing that your purchase is doing some real good out there. New customers get 20% off their first purchase. Just go to bombas.com/CharlotteDobre, all caps, and use code CharlotteDobre, all caps, at checkout. All right, let's see what other people said in the comments. If you have a family group chat, you can congratulate her now before your party. Then there's nothing to announce. That's a good one. If not, make sure she doesn't go near the mic. If she gets angry, ignore her. You could kind of like maybe see if you can budget for like some sort of security to take her out. Agreed, she can't go near the mic.
Well, I have a microphone and you don't.
But at the same time, people still like, you know, if they start like hitting their glass and whatever and they...
Everyone, I'd like to make an announcement.
Like a mic is not gonna matter. She's just gonna yell it. If you don't have a family group chat, do it on social media. Either way, make sure everyone knows she has nothing to announce. It kind of just sounds like she'll find a different way to steal the spotlight or try to steal the spotlight. You know what I mean? I like the idea of kind of spilling the beans.
I'm sorry.
Give her a taste of her own medicine, you know what I mean? OP responded, the issue is my aunt doesn't know I found out, and she's apparently the only one in the family that knows. So if I spill the beans, I could ruin my relationship with her. I genuinely care for my aunt more than my sister, which I know is effed up, but trying to figure out a way to enforce her to tell me prior so I can address it without anyone else being involved. Someone said, just chat to her with someone there as a witness. Suggest going for sushi and say, unless you're pregnant, and read it in whatever her reaction is. Be thrilled for her. Make plans for the baby shower, give her some of the attention she craves. And then let it out in the family so she can't steal your spotlight at the reception.
Genius. Let's do this.
OP says, okay, this is generous. Taking notes. Noted, noted, noted. Yeah, I mean, these are all very sneaky ways to have to deal with someone with very clear mental health problems. So I'm interested to know what happened, and we do have an update. So I honestly have been taking a few days to process everything because it just kept coming in, and I'm a week out from our big day. The day after finding out, I chatted with my wedding planner and maid of honor to set up fail-safes just in case she tried to pull something. They both have been in my life for so long and super protective of me. Neither are a fan of my sister, and told me that if I found out, they're sure others found out. And they were right.
Suck it, Nancy.
I had two family members come forward a few days later and confess they knew and wanted to warn me. I chatted with my wedding planner and she told me everything will be okay and to just trust her. She's got my back. After talking to her, I did feel better. I'm glad you have a good wedding planner and support system.
And I fully support that, Warner. You know that, right?
Sucks that you even have to take these kind of precautions, but it is what it is. Fast forward to today. Libby called me sobbing. She let me know she was in fact pregnant, but that she miscarried. Oh. Okay. She does not know if she can even come anymore and said she's too upset to be around people. Oh my. Oh, that's horrible. I told her I would support whatever decision she made, and ultimately she's staying home. Okay, fair. It's up to her. During that call, I lost all anger and anxiety and stress over the situation, and I felt conflicted. I would never wish ill on someone who has or is having a miscarriage. That is a traumatic experience, and I'm grieving for her. On the other side, I feel horrible that I am relieved.
I'm going straight to
No, that's totally fair. It's definitely like a very conflicting thing because like it's a horrible thing to have to go through, and I'm sure you don't wish that on your own sister, like, and certainly not anyone. I get why you're relieved, like I do. I cannot explain every situation she's put me through my entire life, but I never saw her as a mom. I know it sounds harsh, but I would never want another soul to endure what I did.
Everything burns.
I just wish none of this happened, and I honestly do not truly know how to comfort her. I told her to talk to my other sisters because they both have had miscarriages and could support her better. My maid of honor thinks it's all a lie, and Libby's doing this to try and ruin my day. Oh. That's an interesting take. It would be an effective way of taking your wedding day away from you and making things kind of about her.
It's mine, you understand? Mine, all mine!
I don't want to jump the gun and say that I believe that, but I wouldn't be surprised. You did say that when she can't steal the shine, she plays the victim. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'm saying. I truly think it's all real, and I just want her to find peace and therapy. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is hard. This is hard. I get why you're conflicted. People in the comments are saying that they don't believe she miscarried. I think her plan fell through and she's embarrassed.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. Yup, someone let her know that Sissy knew she was going to say she was pregnant, so now she has to make drama some other way. That girl is poison. Ooh, okay. Interesting takes, guys. Here's the thing. Treat it as if she did miscarry, but don't let her, like, take away from your happiness, okay? If she says she can't come, you know, give her the support that she needs. Check in on her. See if she's okay. But at the end of the day, you know, you want to celebrate. This is your wedding or your wedding reception, and you have a right to focus on yourself that day. The focus is on her every other day of the year, you know?
No, it's not fair.
I've been in situations before where like friends of mine had medical issues and, you know, they weren't able to attend weddings, or, you know, they kept the issues to themselves, and like it's just one day. You know, it's one day where, like, if something bad is like a medical emergency or whatever, if the bride doesn't have to know about it or fixate on it on her wedding day, I just don't know if it's worth telling her. Like, still, you know, give her a reasonable amount of attention, make sure she's okay, because again, she could have actually miscarried. Like, let's not assume, but also taking into account that she tends to play the victim and make it about her in other ways. So, my exact thought, how convenient that right after the family told OP she suddenly miscarried. Don't you dare change changed her plans or backed down. She's probably trying to lull you into a false sense of calm. She knows you're soft, OP. She knows exactly how to play you and twist your emotions. I get it. You want to just relax and enjoy your day, but Cruella won't rest, so neither can you. Do not cancel the safeguards you have in place.
Yeah.
OP responded, we haven't canceled any safeguards just in case. However, they did tell my parents they are also not coming due to her recovery now.
Oh, get well soon.
My parents are not exactly happy with her, and a lot of family isn't talking to her. It's a mixed bag on people truly believing her. Okay, interesting that your own family doesn't believe her. So we do have another update. OP updated and said, I figured I would share what I hope is my last update. My wedding reception was this past weekend, and we had a blast. Oh, thank God. I'm so happy to hear. Congratulations, by the way. The whole night, we were surrounded by amazing friends and family. Libby and John got there late to arrive, and my tribe of besties helped us avoid them the whole time. Okay, so they did come. Interesting that they weren't so distraught that they couldn't be there. Interesting. She apparently recovered immediately and was in good spirits.
Interesting.
Okay, noted. It sucks that we have to be so jaded to even have these, like, feelings about people, you know? Ugh. People that are manipulative are just so exhausting, you know? Like, I'm a very face value kind of gal. There's a reason why I'm a dog gal, because I'm like, I either love you or I don't want to be around you. Like, there's no in between, and I'm not going to go out of my way to manipulate people, because that is exhausting. Like, just because I know how to do it does not mean I want to do it.
Oh, thank you.
I almost always get caught in lies, so that's another thing. The few people that actually knew about what happened were concerned because she wasn't grieving. More like she was plotting. I don't know how to describe it. The following is all secondhand because, like I said, we were focused on us. Thank God. Good. Good, good, good. So Libby and John hit the bar pretty hard to start. I had a few childhood friends have heated combos with Libby that I didn't find out about until the next day. Thank God they didn't tell you on the day of. Those are some good friends. Basically, Libby has never been the friendly one. There were several people that we were friends with growing up. However, I was close to a lot of them, and they would avoid her like the plague. My parents never forced friendships because they felt that wasn't fair on anyone. One of my friends, Marie, was there with her new boyfriend. According to Marie, Libby started asking her questions on why she was at the reception. When Marie said that she'd been invited, Libby said she didn't understand why because apparently Marie and I are not friends.
I'm not sure if any of us can see what all this is supposed to mean.
Which is 100% not true because Marie and I have always been relatively close. We don't see each other that much, but we do stay in touch and talk on the phone. John apparently joined the conversation and said he thought it was odd that a lot of Libby's friends were at our wedding. When Marie asked what he meant, he said it was from his understanding that most of the family friends that were present were friends with Libby and not me. Marie laughed and said she's never been friends with Libby, turned to Libby and told her she needs to grow up. Basically, this style of conversation happened multiple times with several people to the point where John and Libby ended up leaving halfway through the evening. She even tried to get my best friends, including my maid of honor and planner, to come sit with her during certain wedding functions that they were participating in. My maid of honor kept asking her to repeat herself because clearly she wasn't hearing her correctly.
Whoa!
Someone asked Libby if she was trying to ruin my big day. At this point, my family stepped in and asked Libby to leave. Most of the extended family knew about the miscarriage and thought all of her behavior was super weird. Yeah, this to me is like her tactics changed, you know? Yeah, to me, this is like she tried to ruin the wedding by, you know, making some sort of announcement. Then she said she miscarried, and now she's at the wedding, supposedly totally fine and over her grief, kind of picking fights with people, saying negative things, making it kind of about her. And like, quite frankly, there's a time and a place to have these conversations, and it certainly is not at a wedding. Like for one day, can you put your drama aside for one day? For the love of God.
Jesus Christ!
I've had a lot of people messaging me about random things that she did or said, and they all apologized to me saying they hope she didn't ruin my day. She didn't. Period. As of current, she's going to be uninvited from Thanksgiving and possibly Christmas, which has blown up into a whole ordeal. Apparently, John planned to propose to Libby at our Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
My dad no longer thinks the miscarriage was real due to how she was behaving at the reception. There's lots of things that happened that I won't put in a list here, but I'm just thankful there was security, local PD on site. Libby has gone crazy. The last little bit was that we had in our thank you speech to all the guests about starting a family one day and maybe being blessed with a little boy's name or little girl's name. I swear, I thought Libby's eyes were gonna pop out of... Oh wait, so you then said the name out loud that she wanted to take at your wedding so everyone knows that it was your idea? That's good.
Oh,
That's
hell
good.
no.
You're a genius.
I swear, I thought Libby's eyes were gonna pop out and steam come out of her ears. We think this is the moment that caused her to start the aggressive combos that led to her leaving early. John has messaged me since saying I purposely campaigned with everyone to make Libby feel bad about herself. I haven't responded and Mark and I have decided to go no contacts. Ooh, John is in for a rough ride. My whole family's supporting us, so it's a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Either way, just happy it's over and that we had a blast. Here's to a new chapter with my favorite human. Thank you for being supportive and understanding. It's been great being validated during this time. I'm happy to hear that it went well. Happy to hear that you didn't let her ruin things. It sucks that this is your own sister, you know? Like, why can't people just have some social decorum? Just a little decorum for one day. Is it really that much to ask? I don't think it is.
No, it's not.
Are you the a-hole for not wanting to compete with your sister at your own wedding? I mean, it wasn't a competition until she made it one. But no, you're not. We got some more sister wedding drama, honey. I ain't going nowhere. Am I the a-hole for allowing my 5'11" sister to wear 7-inch heels to my wedding? When my husband and I first met through a dating website, we discovered not much longer after that we had younger siblings the same age. I, female 22 at the time, and my husband, then male 26, both had siblings that were the exact same age. When we introduced our families to each other, our then 17-year-old siblings decided to date each other. Okay. But they're like, that's... Oh, okay. With a 2-hour driving gap between the two of them, they had a lot of problems. After they both graduated, they decided to move in together after many protests from us. We sat them down and explained they needed to be sure at the ripe old age of 18 that living together was a smart idea. At this point, I'm 23 and my partner's 27, and we're expecting our first baby. Keep it in the family, eh? Oh my goodness. My husband proposed to me that Christmas and all was well. We had our baby in April, and soon after, our siblings broke up. Our siblings broke up.
There, there's a
Thank
fucking
God I'm
hole
free of that
there.
nightmare.
As soon as we were semi-financially recovered from giving birth to a little girl, we immediately hit the ground running planning our wedding. Obviously, both of those siblings would be in our bridal party. And it just coincidentally lined up according to the order he wanted for his groomsmen and the order I wanted for my bridesmaids, that the siblings would walk together. By the time of the wedding, my sister is now with someone else and having a baby. I invite sisters, then boyfriend, and baby daddy to the wedding. In my mind, this man will always be in my life as he's the father of my niece, whether or not him and my sister stay together. And I will not regret him having at my wedding.
I regret nothing. The end.
Brother-in-law and mother-in-law flip out when they somehow find out that my sister's boyfriend / baby daddy would be in attendance at the wedding. Mother-in-law, who in herself is a certified narcissist nut job, started causing so many issues involving the wedding. My husband and I saw nothing wrong, and we would have invited brother-in-law's girlfriend if he had one. We then started receiving phone calls about how rude and inconsiderate husband and I were for forcing the siblings to walk down the aisle with each other.
Get over it.
Okay. Walk down the aisle with each other. I mean, it's not that deep. It's not like you're saying that they're together. Maybe, did they have like a bad breakup or something? Like, they were siblings at the end of the day. Like, they still kind of are, so... I'm just saying. It caused huge problems and was a huge source of stress for my husband and I. After we sat down and talked, my husband and I decided that we would bump brother-in-law down one on the lineup and have him walk with my other sister. Okay, seems like a decent solution. He then had a problem with that as brother-in-law is short and my sister is not.
I am short, fat, proud of that.
Off. Then that started a whole other wave of problems. Oh, do not bring me problems on my wedding day. Ever. Do not bring the bride and groom problems. It's not about you. I had had enough and told them to shut their mouth and to be grateful that they're in our wedding at all after everything they put us through, and suggested if they had such a problem with it, they could back out. Honestly, this is kind of why I didn't have like a wedding party. People in the wedding party are like, it's just so annoying. Like, you just never know, right? Like, you never, it's just like this best friend competition, and like there's just always weirdness, it seems, with wedding parties. I don't know.
You would be amazed.
No one could have really foreseen this, because this is just a really stupid turn of events, but you get what I mean, you know? Like, at this point, I would literally say, like, I don't want a wedding party. You guys are being stupid.
That's stupid!
Brother-in-law and mother-in-law chose to wring my name through the mud, calling me all sorts of names and turning my husband's family against me. That's when I called my sister and let her know she's in fact allowed to wear the 7-inch heels she's so truly loved as payback to my short brother-in-law for causing drama where it was unnecessary. Oh, wow. Why does it matter if she's next to a guy that's shorter than her when they aren't dating? Like, even if they were dating, it doesn't really matter, but like, why? Is it really that insecurity inducing? Tall women do exist, just FYI. Brother-in-law, none the wiser to this decision, showed up on the day of the wedding and got ready with the groomsmen, came out for pictures with the bridesmaid, and suddenly realized he was walking down the aisle with my sister and her pretty shiny heels who towered over him. Photos of that day. Learned a lot from Charlotte Dobre about how to get revenge by moving in the shadows. So are you the a-hole for allowing your 5'11" sister to wear 7-inch heels to my wedding? Why do you even have to ask that? I was definitely intrigued to find out more, but like, come on now. They had that much of a problem of the sister being taller than the brother-in-law? Really? Actually, it was they wanted to punish the sister who was the high school ex. But seriously? And why was everyone else going, oh yeah, OP sucks because her sister is tall? It just sounds like this family is a bit much. No, you are not the a-hole. All right, we got one more little one for you guys.
Say hello to my little friend!
Would I be the a-hole if I called ahead to ask the bridal boutique to not let my sister-in-law try on wedding dresses at my appointment? Throwaway account for obvious reasons. All names are fake. I, 25 female, am worried that I might be a bridezilla. My soon-to-be sister-in-law, Brianna, is planning to use my appointment to try on dresses.
Wait, what?
Okay. She's already married, but did not have a big wedding. When I invited her to my appointment, she started talking about trying on dresses to convince her husband to renew their vows. Make your own appointment, dude. She said her mom, who is also coming to my appointment, could take pictures and send them to her husband. Now, I'm not someone who needs everything to be about me all the time. However, I would appreciate being the main focus of my own bridal appointment. Yeah, it's one thing if you're like, oh yeah, like try on a dress, like whatever, but like she just literally just made that decision for you.
No, don't like that.
Why can't she just make her own appointment? I'm sure you'd be happy to go support her. I don't want to have to maneuver around Brianna while trying on dresses for my big day and have everyone's attention split between the two of us. Yeah, no. This sounds super messy and weird. And logistically kind of difficult as well. Like, imagine you're kind of like sharing the mirror and she like wants like her turn to like go and stand in front of the mirror and try on the shoes and like you have to switch. No, like the fact that she even thinks that this is okay is a little weird. It's one thing if you offer and say, you know, by all means try on a dress, but it's an entirely different thing for her to assume that it's okay to try on wedding dresses at your wedding dress appointment. Besides that, I invited Brianna because I wanted her to be present on such an exciting day, and she won't be if she's focusing on her own dresses. That part too. Like, you're inviting her because you also want her opinion on your dresses. Yeah, that makes sense. I understand Brianna wanting to try on dresses and renew her vows, but I feel like she should schedule her own appointment. You'd be correct about that. I only get an hour with my bridal consultant, and I don't want any of it wasted on finding dresses for Brianna to try on. I'm a very non-confrontational person, so I'm considering calling ahead and asking the boutique if they could shut Brianna down for me if she actually tries to use my appointment for herself. My friend and my sister both said I should call ahead, but I'm conflicted. So, would I be the a-hole if I called the bridal boutique to ask them to handle my sister-in-law if she tries to make my appointment about her? I mean, you could, like, you're not the a-hole if you do that. I just feel like this is an issue that's gonna keep happening. Like, you kind of need to, like, put your foot down a little bit with this person.
Tell her the truth.
You could just kind of, like, make a joke about it, you know? Just point it out. Just be like, oh, so, like, sorry, are you trying to make my bridal appointment about you? And just say, like, listen, would love to support you. Would love to attend a fitting of your own. I really value your opinion, and I want you to attend my dress appointment fully present and focused on me.
You got that?
Is that like a little bit, but that's okay. You are not a bridezilla by asking the appointment, since it's only an hour, focused on you and not splitting time between a self-centered sister-in-law. Especially since the time would be split with someone already married. Yeah, I don't understand why. No, she's trying to make it about her, honestly. Ooh, it's a little attention-seeking.
I know people think that I just say things to be shocking.
Good Lord, I'd be laughing so hard at this attention me behavior at someone else's dress appointment. Some well-meaning friend needs to shut that diva-like attitude down with a bug in her ear. Note, I might be slightly more confrontational about boundaries than OP. And to be honest, most shops would not allow it. They book appointments for a reason. So they have a room and an assistant for the bride and the bride only. It's not TJ Maxx. It's not really one of those things where there's just like a bunch of fitting rooms. I have been to wedding dress appointments that are like that, but most of them are like one room with chairs, one fitting room, and only space for one person to change at a time. And then maybe the assistants to go back there and help. So there ain't space for this person. And like, why the need to try on wedding dresses when she's already married? That's super weird. No, this is attention-seeking behavior for sure.
If you keep screaming your name, it forces the assailant to acknowledge you as a human.
And I do kind of think that, like, you can ask someone else to do it for you, but, like, I also think that you should put your foot down and set a boundary, because this is a little not so. Call ahead. It's an appointment. You don't share it. Either she dominates your appointment, or you put your foot down now, and it doesn't continue through the rest of the planning. I agree. This, OP, you have to stop this people-pleasing behavior now. I agree. Remaining silent or avoiding having these uncomfortable conversations with your future sister-in-law and mother-in-law to keep the peace never truly keeps the peace. You're essentially, like, letting them sort of walk all over you. I genuinely do think that you need to say something. So, no, you would not be the a-hole, but you're kind of being an a-hole to yourself by not setting a boundary. These are some bridezillas, but they are 100% psychopath. Compilation. Crazy bride is embarrassed by a groomsman's wheelchair.
Not understanding that you're a horrible person doesn't make you less of a horrible person.
To be clear, I wasn't at this wedding, but my mom was a bridesmaid and she said I was allowed to share it, as long as I didn't say any names. It's wild. So some of the information might be a little inaccurate. I'll allow it. A little background.
Thank you.
The groom has had this friend since they were little. I'm gonna call him Tyler. And when they were teens, Tyler got into a really bad car accident. The accident left him paralyzed from the stomach area down, and he's been in a wheelchair ever since. It kind of rattled their friendship for a while because the groom was the one driving and got distracted, leading to the crash. Yeah. They made up after a while and became thick as thieves once again. Wedding planning comes around, and obviously the groom wanted his best friend to be a groomsman. The best man was his father. It had been agreed upon like 6 to 7 months before the wedding. Everything was supposed to be fine. Everyone had their suits, and the wedding was a few weeks away when the bride confessed to her bridesmaids that she thought the wheelchair would ruin the wedding photos.
I have no soul.
She asked them if they thought it would be rude to tell him he wasn't allowed in the photos. Yeah, that would be rude, yeah. I'm gonna go with, yeah, that's rude. They ended up telling her to talk to the groom about it because it wasn't their place to give advice about this. I would say, like, good friends would tell the bride that she's being, like, a little unreasonable, really unreasonable, but like, she's the bride, we have to like tiptoe around, like, I would say this is not something that I would ever admit out loud. She took their advice and asked the groom the same question, to which he replied it wasn't Tyler's fault, and he was his best friend. He wanted him to be in the photos no matter what. Yeah, and there's like, it just goes back to this whole like, oh, you don't go with my aesthetic, oh, you're taller, oh, you're bigger,
You don't have natural hair color. You're gonna stand out.
Who are you trying to impress? Your 45 Facebook friends?
I'm suddenly popular AF.
The bride was mad. I think she thought he would be okay with it and would agree to not let Tyler be in the photos and wasn't expecting him to disagree. I mean, not everyone is as shallow as that, you know? I talked about this in a video recently, but there is this groom that recently went viral because he learned sign language for his vows so that his bride's parents could understand him. So he did his vows, you know, out loud. He was speaking them and he also did them in sign language at the same time.
That's rad.
It just goes to show that she doesn't really care about the wedding and everything that comes with it. She cares more about appearances. She raved to her bridesmaids and was saying how it was unfair that her photos had to be ruined because of this guy and how he would make all the photos look unsymmetrical or something. I'm sorry, but this is so embarrassing.
Wow.
What if you had like a grandmother that was like in a wheelchair, which is often like, it's a very common thing. I've literally never heard of someone having an issue with someone in a wheelchair being in photos. Like, aren't you happy that they're there to begin with?
Come on now, dog.
Bombastic side eye. My mom wasn't too sure the exact reason because she just kept saying it was unfair and she thought the chair was clunky and would look out of place among the rest of the wedding party. Okay, but like, listen, as like a wedding photographer, like I used to do this for a job, there are ways to like make it symmetrical. Like everybody could be sitting down so everyone's on the same plane. He could be sitting at the front so that it's like, you know, shorter to taller, right? Like there are ways around like making it symmetrical if that's really the issue.
Imagination.
This is such a non-issue. And quite frankly, like if I were the groom, I would have the ick. This whole thing caused the bride and groom to fight so much. My mom genuinely thought they would cancel the wedding. She had never seen them fight so much in their whole relationship of 4 years. That's not surprising. I would really not like to find out that like my significant other, like my soon-to-be husband or wife, had these feelings toward my best friend.
Oh, that's not very nice.
And also to find out that they're really shallow, like weird. The groom eventually talked to his dad about it, and even though I don't know a whole lot, I know that his dad was the one who convinced him to go through with the wedding because couples fight. And if you think this is big enough to ruin your relationship over, then it wasn't a good relationship in the first place. I actually think it really is that deep.
You're in grave danger. Get out of there now.
So, day of the wedding came around, and from
That's what I'm talking about.
No fighting or
Clients will be beating down our doors real soon.
Everything went as planned. Tyler obviously was in the photos and none the wiser to the bride's dislike of it. The bride, though, only posted photos that didn't have Tyler in them and cropped him out of a few of them that didn't have him in it. I don't know much after all this, but my mom said the groom was pissed AF because of this and drunkenly ranted to his group of friends, Tyler included. I'm pretty sure this was the first time he heard of this. Tyler was pissed, rightfully so, but he was very mature about it and didn't say anything to the bride, even though she would have deserved it. I don't know what they're like behind closed doors, but they are clearly putting up a front in public and haven't said anything to anyone else about it. Tyler and some of their friends haven't spoken to the bride once since the whole rant, and the bride still hasn't posted pictures with Tyler in them, though the groom did on his own Facebook. Ooh, that's embarrassing for her. I mean, it goes back to like my theory that this is all about appearances, right?
This whole thing, all of this, it's all about me.
It's definitely a bombastic side eye. All the way around. Like literally, I'm gonna look at you from behind. Someone added an interesting comment. The groom should have dumped the bride before the wedding. Huge red flag. In sickness and in health, good luck with that. So imagine if this is how she feels about the groom's best friend being in a wheelchair. How is she gonna feel like, God forbid, something
all good
happens
things must
and the
come to an
groom
end, I guess.
you know.
But I'm
in a
happy my old
wheelchair
business
or,
is
like,
in good,
has mobility
capable hands.
issues or,
Your hands,
like,
kid.
A multitude of other
I've seen
health
plenty of
problems.
hotheads thinking
I
they
feel
can
like
make a
this
quick
is
buck and
sign.
split. At first, I thought you were going to be just like
Not a
him,
good one.
but you proved me
Yeah,
wrong.
My bridezilla
Take
meter
good care
is
of this place.
definitely going
You've
off.
earned it.
Let's rate him.
See you around, kid.
She's like an 8. Like, she's not the worst I've heard, but she's definitely like an 8. Let me know if you agree. We got some more bridezilla drama coming right at you. My older half-sister didn't invite me to her child-free wedding. I'm 19. But she still expects a gift. All right, we got some text messages. Goody. View the wedding registry, and she sends a link. Is this your wedding registry? What else could it possibly be? Why are you sending it to me? You're my sister? I'm not invited though. It's super common for people who cannot make it to get a small gift. You greedy Okay, no. It is super common for people who can't make it to also get a gift, not people who are not invited. I love how she
people who cannot make it.
No. Let's call this what it is. You didn't invite your own sister, but is now holding it over her head that she's your sister and owes you a gift.
You know, can someone get a grip, please?
Can't make it is not equal to not invited. Oh, nicely said. It's a child-free wedding. I'm a fully grown adult. You're under 21. You're having a dry wedding. Why does that matter? We've been over this. That was before a gift was requested. I am an adult. It's my wedding and you're a teenager. It's clear by your reaction to my decisions regarding my own wedding, you are not mature enough to attend adult events or exist in adult spaces.
It's extremely rude.
I mean, I have that exact same reaction and I am like double her age, so. Be for real right now! It's my money, not getting a gift. And begging for expensive crap from a broke college student is cringe as hell. You're being immature and unsupportive. Fart noises. My point stands. This is major bridezilla behavior. Major. Like, not as bad as the last one, but just FYI, it's not a requirement to get anyone a gift. It's one of those things where it's the polite thing to do. Don't get me wrong, like it's like customary to pay for your plate, right? Especially in certain cultures. I know in my culture, or my mom's culture, it's customary to pay for your plate at the very, very, very least. When you're not invited, it's not like at the most maybe a card or like flowers, but even then flowers are expensive. That's kind of a slap in the face, like to not get an invite at all and being related to the bride. Yeah, no. It's a no from me, dog. It's customary if you can't make it, not if you aren't invited at all. Your sister is delusional. And children aren't expected to give gifts at a wedding regardless of whether they're invited. That is another very, very, very good point. So you say that she's too young to be considered an adult, but you're asking a child for a gift? Honey, no. No. I feel like she's using this whole child-free thing as an excuse not to invite her half-sister, because like anyone in their right mind knows that if you're over 18 you're an adult regardless of whether you can drink or not. You're old enough to go to war.
Now let me see your war face.
You are an adult. She just doesn't want her half-sister at her wedding, but she does want a gift. Yeah, the audacity is strong with this one. Nope, she doesn't want you there. Save your money. Literally, that's what I'm saying. She doesn't want her half-sister there. The whole child-free thing is an excuse, especially considering that people aren't gonna be drinking. It's a dry wedding. Like, I can understand not wanting like babies at weddings, because you know, babies cry. Yes. Whatever. I've been to plenty weddings where babies were actually hilarious to be around. They were so unbelievably cute with their little outfits. I once went to a wedding where there were these two babies and there was like a big like canoe that they used as like a big cooler to put all the beers in. So they filled it with ice and coolers, and the babies had somehow made their way over to this like canoe filled with beer, and they were trying to pick up these cans of beer, and like they're closed cans of beer, and they were drinking out of them, and I swear to God, it was like one of the funniest things I've ever seen at a wedding. So I can understand not wanting crying babies. I don't mind kids. I'm having kids at my wedding, whatever. This is all an excuse to not invite her. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 on the Bridezilla meter. This story is from the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. Am I the a-hole for putting my wedding planner out of business? My late husband, 30 years old, and myself, 29, were best friends for nearly 10 years before we realized in 2007 something was clearly there between us. It didn't take long for us to realize how clueless we had been, falling in love soon after and wanting to marry. While he died of surgical complications at 40, I can still happily and proudly say I had the fairy tale everyone hopes for. Oh, wonderful husband, a mother-in-law that loves me and is the salt of the earth, and the best 10 years of marriage I could have ever asked for, including 3 glorious children. Oh, I just got goosebumps. So, if my husband was my Prince Charming, then our wedding planner was our evil stepmother.
That gives you time.
My late husband and I have always been geeks. Comic books, sci-fi, gothic themes, etc. We are happily off-center. When we settled on a Victorian gothic themed wedding, we knew exactly what we wanted. A blood red flowing gown for me, him in a black Victorian style suit and tails, roses and black orchids, a black wedding cake with silver spiderweb designs flowing down it, and the perfect outdoor setting at a mountain resort, which was an important location for us. A family tragedy occurred there 3 decades before, and we wanted to provide the family better memories of the location with our special day. That is very thoughtful. Sometimes people want to avoid certain days where there's been like tragedies, certain places where there's been tragedies, but I actually really like the idea of like sharing those dates and places with something good. In this regard, we were low maintenance. We already purchased our clothes. I managed to score this 3,000 red crimson dress with detailing and a huge train for only $500.
We have a deal.
A friend of ours was a DJ and asked to give his services as a wedding gift, and a friend who was an ordained minister agreed to dress in Victorian-era priest garb to marry us. We had a lot down, but we needed help with how to decorate, how to work our color scheme of black, red, and silver, how to set up the reception decorations and centerpiece ideas, things like that. So we went to a local bridal fair to search for potential vendors that we would love. The minute we found this wedding planner's display area, we were in awe.
Oh my God.
She had a mock table setup that was nearly identical to the vision we had in our head. We knew we scored. Our planner, we'll call her Eve, fell in love with our vision instantly. Even she agreed it was so similar to her mock table that clearly our collaboration was meant to be. We scheduled a date and time to meet with her. She gave her pitch, we agreed, and the deal was done. We happily signed the contract with her. We thought we scored the wedding planner jackpot. Oh, sweet, sweet hubris. Had we known the train wreck she would be, we would never have given Eve the carte blanche we so blindly provided. We gave her the card information for the wedding budget account. Oh, my alarm bells are going off. She would pay for it with the account information we set up. All seemed well. Please bear in mind we had a modest budget of $4,000, so we weren't expecting extravagant. That isn't who we were. And we had so many professionals as friends in various fields that the offers for their services were pouring in, so we counted them as wedding gifts. They had no need to bring a present when they were willing to do a job for us for free. It was a blessing.
I don't know if I believe in God, but I have prayed for this.
With that in mind, we started finding it odd that the wedding account started to slowly trickle money without being notified. $5 here, $20 there, etc. Then out of nowhere, we began getting charges of $200 for vases, $500 for flowers, $1,000 for God knows what, etc. And not once had we gotten any call, email, or text for our opinion on what was being supplied for our wedding. That is I'm gulping. My fiance had enough and contacted her. She'd been buying up all the supplies for the wedding and reception and signing off things like flowers, which we didn't give final input on, and centerpieces, again, no input. and simply had them wrapped, shipped, and ready to go without consulting us. My fiance, needless to say, gave her a mouthful over that, as it was not part of the contract. As the damage was already done, getting refunds in time for the wedding was impossible, so we were stuck. Okay. I mean, was it in the contract she would have to, like, check with you first? Because then that is breach of contract. Luckily, it was within the realm of our vision, but Eve had gone overboard. Due to the overdraw she caused, we had to tail a loan to cover the cost. A loan that sang to the tune of $8,000. But that wasn't even the worst part. Oh yes, there's more. The wedding day rolled around. My fiance and I had decided that the debacle with the wedding planner was not worth the stress and agreed to just move forward. This day was a decade in coming for us, and we just wanted to focus on the happiness. The night before the wedding, Eve called to finalize the time the crew would come in with her to decorate. She wanted to start decorating at 11 that morning, both the Mountain Lodge location for the wedding and its reception area. The wedding was at 2, and her crew was her sister, and her mother.
We're an unusual family.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. You won't have the time to get that much ready before the ceremony with the size of this place and 3 people. But the lodge said they would open the place for us as early as 6 a.m. for decoration, so any time from then on would give you a bigger window. He never once said they had to be there at 6 a.m., only that it gave her the opportunity to start earlier. But she replied, "I refuse to wake my mother up any earlier than 10 in the morning." Okay, then hire someone. This after using your credit card without your permission? I'm sorry, but like, what? She better be walking on eggshells and doing exactly what you want. Now, my fiance was a passive man, not confrontational. This was the only time I heard him angry or stern when he bluntly said, "I'm sorry if I come off as a groomzilla, but you signed the contract the same we did. The one that says you work for us. We cannot control that you didn't come prepared with more people. You need to be there earlier or there will be a problem." Reluctantly and angrily, she complied. But you guessed it, that's still not the worst part. Allow me to preface the worst part with some backstory. I have a child from a previous marriage. The man was never actively part of her life. My fiance raised her from diapers until he died. Our daughter was 9 years old at the time of our marriage. Our wedding was in the peak of June in a region where it was 96 degrees in the shade. The planner insisted we take all wedding photos before the wedding, which was an outside venue. My daughter was in a huge red poofy dress, as she was part of my bridal party, but it didn't take long for the heat to get to her. After my shots with the group, I went to use the bathroom and finish last-minute prep. Eve apparently decided the bridal party needed more shots without me, making my daughter be stuck outside in the heat for longer than necessary.
I think we're in trouble.
My father found me during this time and told me my daughter got sick from heat exhaustion. I immediately went into mom mode and rushed to the changing room where they were fanning her and giving her water. She was so pale, yet so warm, and I was petrified. I immediately helped her out of her dress and into her street clothes, and my father went to the caterer to fetch her something light and bland to settle her stomach, along with more water. Some time passed, and she was feeling better, so she wanted to put the dress back on and go out there. She loved how she looked in it. But after only seconds of having the dress on, the thickness of it proved to be too much and she felt sick again. My daughter walked down the aisle with me in her street clothes and I couldn't have cared less. She felt better. She wasn't hot and she was safe. That's all I was worried about. And that's exactly how you should feel. The ceremony went off without a hitch. Everything was as perfect as I hoped it would be. But in the receiving line, I was told disturbing news. The heat sickness episode happened only 15 minutes before the wedding. When Eve got wind of what was happening, she snapped angrily in front of God and everyone.
"I don't care who is sick or why. This wedding will start on time."
Is she like, okay?
You're crazy, man.
You apparently could have heard a pin drop from the guests in the bridal party. Everyone heard the entire thing. They kept it from us so as to tell us after the ceremony and not ruin our day, but oh, how enraged we became. We cornered her privately, to which she said the guests were lying. One of the guests that heard her was my 65-year-old sweet little Southern Baptist grandmother. I don't care if we were married here or got married at a courthouse next week to give my daughter time to feel better, I snapped. You do not control anything about my daughter and her health. She is the priority. In the grand scheme of things, lady, you are freaking nothing. Ooh, burn! We didn't sue. We didn't retaliate in court. Well, you could have. But after we returned from our honeymoon, we gathered every guest that had been a witness to Eve and her behavior, and they posted reviews on every single available source online, from Google to Yahoo to her very own webpage. Her business site was shut down within the next month. All mentions of her business were wiped from the internet around the same time. We were one of the last events she ever did, and I lost zero sleep about it. So, am I the a-hole? No, you are not. I feel like this wedding planner literally just made this whole wedding about herself. Like, she was so unprofessional the whole time. Just made it really difficult for you. Like, why hire a wedding planner if they're going to make your life more difficult, you know? The whole point is they're supposed to help and coordinate, not make your wedding an absolute shit show.
Clean up in all the aisles.
I'm not surprised you did that. I feel like you could have done a lot more, honestly, especially with how much money you lost. You could have for sure taken her to small claims and at least get, you know, the money you paid her back. Cause yeah, I'd want a refund after that. I ain't gonna lie. So you are not the a-hole, and honestly not a bridezilla either. All right, we got one little baby one for you.
Me,
just to like a little cherry on top. My best friend says if I can't afford her bachelorette, I'm not a bridesmaid anymore.
Okay, cool.
My best friend and I have been in each other's lives for 6+ years. We've been there for each other financially, physically, and emotionally, and have raised our children together. I'm a divorced single mom, and she knows I'm struggling to make ends meet right now. There are 5 bridesmaids total. Her sister is the maid of honor. Then there's her fiance's sister, her childhood friend, a mutual friend of ours, and me. When the maid of honor started discussing plans for a local bachelorette weekend, think sleepover at maid of honor's house, brunch and some activities, I wasn't expecting to pay an outrageous amount of money. However, with the itinerary, she suggested the cost is looking at $500 plus, and we aren't even going on a trip. I'm not sure if that is normal, but I told them I could not afford that, and instead could compromise and let them know which events I could participate in. I think that's actually quite fair. This did not go over well, and it got back to the bride, my best friend, who flipped out on me for the first time in our friendship. She told me I'm either all in and can remain a bridesmaid, or if I don't pay up, I can attend as a guest. I think that if she really wanted you there, she would pay for your share. I'm just saying. It is of like the utmost importance to me because like it's just like a little bit of a stickler for me. We're doing a destination wedding, and I recognize that there's, you know, a lot of money being spent, people getting, you know, spending money on engagement party gifts and all these other things. My bachelorette party is free. I think it's just my best friends and my future sister-in-laws that are covering the food and the drinks. Yeah, no, I made sure that they don't have to pay for anything because I recognize that weddings are such a major expense and not everybody can afford it. And I would rather have them there, you know, like it's not a big deal for me. We going on a boat. It's actually tomorrow. Like, this video is going up so much later, but when I'm filming, I'm so excited for my bachelorette. We're doing a Barbie-themed boat party, and like, I am so excited. But do I expect my friends to fork out a bunch of money because I want to spend all this money on a boat? No, no. I'm taking the hit. It's not a big deal, okay? I'd rather just have a fun day with my friends. I'm such a better person than this bride. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just think that, like, being in so many weddings and having so many friends get married, I recognize the financial burden that a lot of people have, especially with regards to the fact I'm having a destination wedding. It's too much. It's too much to ask. I do not want to be a burden, and I'm certainly not holding it against people who can't come. Like, it's just, it is what it is.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
This really hurts me because I've never seen that side of her, and I don't want to lose our friendship. I mean, you're not saying you're not going to go. You're just saying you're going to come to what you can afford to come to. I want to stand by her on one of the most important days of our lives, but I'm not going to lie, it does hurt feeling like I can only prove my worth if it's financial. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I've taken a step back from our friendship, and I've taken some space. I don't even know about how to have this conversation with her, given that it ended up in a fight the last time. Does anyone have any advice? All right, so bride is acting from a place of anger and disappointment. Okay, she is acting like a bridezilla, for sure. As someone who's getting married and has had to deal with people dropping out and not being able to come for various reasons, friends getting pregnant, people having health issues, it's sad and it is disappointing sometimes. But, you know, once you get over like the initial disappointment, it is what it is. Like, it really is what it is. I would give her some space. For sure. I feel like she hopefully will come to her senses, and if she doesn't, It's not like you're saying you can't go at all. She is being a bridezilla. She's acting from a place of like, you know, she feels like people aren't showing up for her or whatever. You don't need to show up financially to show up for people.
Help me, I'm poor.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely feel like you could just say, listen, like,
I want to be there for you. I'm just like really not in a good spot financially. If there's any way that I can make up for the fact that I can't come to the expensive things, I'd love to make it up to you.
if she's still being unreasonable, it is what it is, man.
Oh, this sucks.
If you're being judged on the value of her friendship by a monetary amount, she's not a true friend. I almost feel like it could be that. It also could be that she's, you know, a little disappointed, really disappointed, but she is being a bridezilla about it. She's allowed to be disappointed that her best friend can't come to like wedding events because of the financial constraint. But if you're gonna make a big deal out of it, like, that's on you. Hi, OP. It's not normal to charge bridesmaids $500 to attend a bachelorette. It's not normal for your friend to freak out because you won't put yourself in debt under financial stress for a party for her. Step back from the wedding party. Try not to stress about it if the friendship is damaged, ending, because she's the one who caused the problem, not you. You haven't done anything wrong. Yeah, it is what it is. And if she doesn't, like, come around, then I'm sorry, but she's being a major bridezilla. If she has such an issue with you not being able to afford it and she wants you to be there, then she should help you afford it. I'm just saying, if it's such a big deal to her, like, what does she want you to do? There's literally no money. You can't afford it. Like, what? That is not a very gracious bride thing to do. I'm just saying. My sister is turning into the biggest bridezilla, and I can't stop laughing. So, a little background. I am the second youngest of 5 kids. My older siblings are 2 brothers and 1 older sister, who we'll call X for the purposes of this post. X and I have a 5-year age gap. As a result, we never really had that sisterly bond you would expect most sisters to have. Growing up, I was always a burden to her, and anytime it was my turn to pick the family movie, or really anything, she would get upset. The reason being is that she had control issues as early as 9. A 9-year-old with control issues? No thanks.
Take my Barbie! Give it to me! What? Change her feelings! Mine now.
So I'm guessing you can see where this is going.
Absolutely.
I'm currently 18, about to turn 19.
Woohoo!
And X turned 24 earlier this year. Her boyfriend, Y, proposed to her at a family beach day earlier in June of this year. It was one of those big white letters and rose petals proposals, which he set up before my family arrived. She was thrilled, said yes, and my parents were happy along with my older siblings. The youngest is 4, so I don't think she understood what was happening. Now here's the drama. Since the proposal, she's gone into full bridezilla mode. At the behest of my mom, X made me a bridesmaid. So I'm roped into all the BS, and so far, these are the demands my dear sister has made.
Hello, my bride tribe. I am so excited for my wedding. So I just wanted to do a quick little Zoom call so that we can go over my expectations. I have a little list. Whatever the bride wants. 1, all bridesmaids are expected to pay for their own dress, shoes, hair, and makeup. The dress is around $300, and you will also be expected to pay for alterations. 2, all bridesmaids need to attend all wedding and bachelorette events, including the bachelorette spa day, $800 each. The bachelorette vacation weekend to Toronto and stay at the Fairmont Hotel, around like ballpark $2,000 each. The dress appointments, even if it's only for me. All things to do with the wedding, you'll need to test the cake, the venue, you do the catering, etc. I believe the cake and food tasting is like $25 each. And lastly, the guests and the bridal groom party need to pay $150 to reserve their spots. What? And gifts either have to be cash, check, or in the form of gift registry items, okay? I don't want just anything. They have to be on the approved list. And I did send a spreadsheet. Check your email. I will be returning items that aren't from my registry or items that don't match my theme. Okay? I think that's it. Does anyone have questions? Oh, I'm so sorry. There's another page. Silly me. So all bridesmaids will need to pay for their hair and skin appointments every 6 weeks. I want to ensure your hair and skin look flawless for my big day. Come on, why do we have Anyone with tattoos will need to cover them. I want to be the only one with tattoos at my wedding. And everyone will need to have a natural hair color, so if you don't, you'll have to wear a wig or dye it at your expense. So next, and I know that this will be like a little bit of a sore spot for you, but I just want you to look your best. The bridesmaids' dresses only come in sizes 00 to 10. So anyone who's like a little bit bigger than that, we'll need to just tighten things up for the wedding. Oh, by the way, Lucy, I have this amazing keto book that I swear by. I will send you a link on Amazon. My future hubby and I won't be communicating with anyone, any of the vendors directly. That is your job. So I made a Gmail with last name wedding, which you will all have access to. Please don't bother me with silly details. Don't ask me if something's okay. You should just know, okay? And lastly, we need to remind the guests that they also need to pay a deposit of $150 to save their spot to the wedding. And if you don't get this deposit from them, they're uninvited. We also need them to confirm what they're going to be purchasing from the registry or the dollar amount that they're going to give. Okay, now I'm really done. Any questions? Is this normal?
Something tells me the attendance for this wedding's gonna be pretty low. My mom says it's bride anxiety. Your mom made this monster. I say it's just my sister trying to control everything because she wants a December wedding on a ski hill. Blah. Anyways, I figure if people are interested, I could update periodically on what happens. Thanks for reading. Yeah, we're gonna need those updates, bestie. Oh, and we have the updates, don't worry. All right, so we have some relevant comments by OP, additional context. Overall, she's gonna have to accept the fact that finances rule a lot of people's lives, and if she's not gonna come back down to earth, it's going to keep people from being able to participate, like you. OOP responds, that's what I try to tell her, but she won't listen. Her fiance makes $120 a year as a tech dude, and she's an accountant making $100K herself, so it's easy for her to afford this. I mean, even if she can afford it, it's like, maybe she can afford her own wedding. But like, if she can easily afford all of that, then she should also, quite frankly, be footing the bill for some of these like really extravagant events. Tell your mom and sister you won't participate until someone pays all of your costs. Your mom should not try to keep the peace when your sister is a raging harpy. I hope her fiance backs out. He won't. He loves her spice. He's a very calm man though, so they match really well. He's the only one who can calm her down. That's fine that he can calm her down and stuff, but like there's other people who are being affected by her spiciness. How does his family feel about the admissions fee to his wedding? It's normal on his side of the family. They say it's normal in Italian families, which I just found out it isn't. What? It is definitely not normal in Italian families, and I can tell you that much. Mom, are you here? Question for you. Since you're Italian, guys, my parents are here. Is it normal in an Italian wedding for people to have to pay a $150 deposit? Honestly, I never heard of it. She said, honestly, I've never heard of that. Thanks, Mom. OOP also added, the problem for me is that I can't afford it without going into debt for my student loans. Interest on student loans right now is 26%, so I'm afraid to be in debt. Tell your mom you don't have that sort of money. Tell Sis she's free to include you out of the wedding party. Bestie, they're still gonna have to pay $150 to be a guest. You will probably find that you will lead the charge. She has 13 bridesmaids, 12 bridesmaids, and 1 maid of honor. And it's to match the fraternity class of her fiance. He had 13 people he became brothers with in his class. I don't know what that means, but it's special. So if I drop out, 2 of the guys will need to walk together.
Let them. Just let them.
So OP, based on these comments, did confront her sister.
Listen, I know you're getting married and I want to be able to be there for you, but I can't afford all this. You know, you are my sister and a bridesmaid. It is your responsibility to find a way to pay for this.
I'm gonna go into debt for your wedding.
You always do this. It is my day.
It's not like that.
My day.
Okay, hold on. Wait, come on. Mom and dad are paying for the wedding, almost $100,000, so they can't give me $2,000 for my expenses. I'm going to uni in the fall and my tuition is $17,000. Weird parental choices here, $100K for a wedding but let a child pay for their own tuition? Did your sister go to college? I'd be asking my parents to pay my college fees and tell them I won't want a $100,000 wedding. Equal money to the kids. Also, if they can spring for $100K, then what's another 2? Literally, I find that a little odd that they're willing to fork out $100,000 for your sister's wedding, but they won't pay your tuition. Tuition has always been ours to pay. Mom and dad save for everyone's wedding and honeymoon. OP added an edit. Y'all are making me realize my family isn't normal. No, they're not. Like, the fact that your mom is just kind of like letting this happen and is totally fine with you having to take on all of this extra expense for her daughter's wedding is nuts. This is nuts. Someone needs to tell your sister that this is crazy.
This is crazy. You're crazy.
I'm gonna look into therapy with my uni and seeing if I can move into residence earlier. I texted my mom, I'm at work right now, if her, dad, and I can talk about it while X has gone to her fiance's for the night. I'm hoping to show my mom and dad this post to help them understand where I'm coming from. I'm gonna take some time away from this just because a lot of you are right. This isn't normal. Our relationship as a family is not normal. I called my aunt while I was at work. For those of you who don't know, she's my godmother and thinks my mom is nuts. And we talked about it. She's encouraging me to talk to my parents about everything, not only the wedding, but favoritism since childhood. And she's also on standby in case things go too far. My shift at work finishes in a few hours. I'm gonna go home and pack a quick bag of stuff for my aunt to grab before my parents and I talk. On to the update. Firstly, I just want to apologize for how long this has taken. My parents originally planned to talk that night, but my mom said she wasn't feeling good and decided to go to sleep early.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
And that feeling stayed for a while. We then got busy moving my sister into her fiance's place, and by the time everything settled, my parents forgot we had something to discuss and brushed it off to the side. We finally had the conversation 2 days ago, and I needed a day to think and react. So, turns out my dad never knew the whole story. He knew he was responsible for paying for my sister's dress and a portion of the wedding or honeymoon. The reason for this is that my parents told me, dad confirmed with bank records, that my parents had been setting up $25,000 accounts for myself and each of my siblings. The rule was that these accounts could be used for anything once we turned 19 and went off to post-secondary. It was our money to use. I just turned 19 and my dad was getting ready to sign the money over to me when we had this conversation, which caused a bit of a blow up, but right now I need to give some background info I was given. Right after sister got engaged, she apparently had a conversation with my mom about how she always felt like the child left out. She's used this line before, so I do believe my mom fell for it and was guilt tripped.
Hook, line, and sinker.
As a result of a very long conversation, my mom figured she could divert some of the funds from all of the kids' accounts to pay for my sister's wedding.
What?
Oh, absolutely not. For those wondering, my 2 older brothers are in the military. They aren't married yet and live on base. They never use their $25,000 because the Army in Canada pays for your education, housing, etc. So my mom had $50,000 at her disposal. Did they know that the money was given to her? Oh, this is about to get really messy, I can tell. Then, combined with my sister's and my $25K, it would have been $100K. Mom figured that because I had $17,000 saved up, she could just give me my $25K later for a car or a house payment or wedding.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
My sister did this because, again, she's a master manipulator. Thank you to the wonderful Redditors who sent me to various subreddits for narcissism and support, along with those who sent articles on it to me. She used some of my mom's mental and physical health conditions against her. When I was born, my mom went through very bad PPD, resulting in her leaving to a treatment facility for 4 months, leaving my sister, 2 brothers, me, and my dad behind. My 2 older brothers were 9 and 7, and me only a few months. Sister, for reference, was 5 or just shy of 5. Since my brothers were trouble, my dad had his hands full, and a live-in nanny did stuff for me. So my sister had little to no attention at an age where attention is important. I think that triggered the bad sides of her to come out. While the nanny did help sister with the basics, food, water, bathe, clothes, a little play, she wasn't a replacement for mom. I feel like I can kind of empathize with that. But again, like I've said this before in videos, like everybody is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. Before you judge others and others' behavior, just know that they are dealing with trauma. Everyone has it. But it is your responsibility to get your trauma in check and not use it to, number one, manipulate others or make life difficult for other people. You are responsible for how you treat other people, and I will die on this hill. I can empathize with your trauma, but I don't have to tolerate disrespect. When my mom came back, my sister had a huge grudge, but not to mom. To me. I was the reason mom left. Over my childhood, sister used manipulation to get what she wanted. And she did it for the wedding too. Mom felt bad and decided to give her little dove everything she desired.
She got a trip to New York. I want a trip to Miami. Why does she get a car and I don't? I'm older. I should get more money. It's always about her. Everyone loves her more than me.
This is the thing about people who like play the victim and play on guilt. They've learned that in order to get what they want out of life, playing the victim is the easiest way. Like your mom probably feels incredibly guilty about what happened when she was a baby. She probably feels guilty for how your sister ended up and now kind of wants to make up for that. But all it's doing is kind of reinforcing these bad habits and bad behaviors. As a result of this, Dad and I grew very close. He's my best friend. My sister and I had a decent relationship when I was 12 to 14, but it changed again when mom got pregnant with youngest sister. It was an accident, and I became the target again. While I know it doesn't excuse a lot of things, I figured it would be important to give you all the whole story. It does help me understand. It helps me understand also because I've dealt with stuff like this firsthand. I have family members that are like this. I have friends that are like this. And don't get me wrong, like it worked. Like it worked for a little while. The guilt tripping and the victim mentality and, you know, just so worried that I would, you know, not be there for a person in their time of need that I felt the need to just overcompensate. But it also led to a lot of resentment and them learning that it's easier to play the victim than it is to take responsibility. Update part 2. So now that the back info is done, here's what happened. A day after sister moved out, I asked my mom and dad to please finally have the conversation with me. My mom was feeling better, so we sat down and we were talking.
This isn't fair.
Honey, please.
You need to calm down.
Yelling didn't solve anything.
No, we use our language.
No, this is such a big financial burden.
Honey, your father and I agreed that this was best for your sister.
No, I did not. I did not agree to that.
Okay, we're not gonna talk about it
No,
in
I
front
want
of
to talk
her.
about this right now. What are you talking about? I never said any of that.
Well, Dad blew up. He didn't know about the $100,000 or the things the sister was doing. He didn't like the fact that mom used a lot of your father and I agree talk even though they hadn't. I showed group chat screenshots. We worked through the wedding issue. I don't have to attend. And the $25,000 for me issue, Dad is signing it over early.
Go to your room
Okay,
right
all right,
now.
we're doing this.
No, we're doing
We're
this right
doing
now.
her.
Oh, no, I hear you. I hear you. No, I do. No, she's all, our daughters are always fighting, and it's because of you. You put us against each other. Honestly, it drives me nuts.
not my
You know what?
fault.
I am done. I am done. I am done. I am done.
Dad then asked why I didn't feel comfortable to talk to them earlier. So I showed them this post. My dad snapped. He immediately called my sister and told her to come here ASAP because he needed to talk to her and would not accept excuses. She said she would be here in 4 hours because she was with fiance and his parents. Dad pressed and she hung up and blocked him.
Son of a... You done messed up, AA Ron!
Dad told me to go to my room once again, but to leave my phone so they could go over the post and see the comments. I don't know exactly what happened, but mom came to talk to me later. She told me about the PPD, etc. I didn't know about it earlier. We solved our issues and I finished by asking if sister would go to therapy. Because mom's convinced that the 4-month leave caused this stuff in her, mom said she'd try, but can't force. I told her if sister doesn't go, I'm going no contact with her, and possibly low contact with mom. It's one thing to feel guilty about like not being there for your sister, but that's also like not really her fault either. Like she shouldn't feel guilty for having mental health issues. Furthermore, I think at the time your sister didn't really understand what was going on, but she's an adult now. She can't keep playing that card because it's not like, oh, mom left and now she has all these mommy issues. Like once you get older and you kind of understand mental health and PPD especially, you cannot really blame the mother. Dad then joined the convo and assured me I would get my money and I wouldn't have to go to the wedding if I didn't want to. Since my sister is charging $150 per guest, she can pay for her grandiose wedding through that. Oh, that is music to my ears. If you're charging a cover charge for your wedding, that'll definitely cover some expenses. The issue though is that I don't know that many people will want to show up if there's like a requirement to give a gift. I also may have understood that incorrectly, but it sounds like there's also a cover charge and people have to get a gift from the registry. So I don't know. Soon to be brother-in-law and his family aren't paying for anything apparently. Oh, interesting. So now they have to, or sister doesn't get to have her ski hill wedding. Speaking of the $150 fee, y'all were right. It was sister who concocted the whole thing and told mom it was an Italian thing. I knew it. We talked to sister's mother-in-law when she dropped off sister. Sister doesn't drive. And mother-in-law was shocked that sister had said that. There is apparently a money dance, but no $150 fee. So on to what happened when sister came back. She came in after 5 hours, and while mother-in-law was there, she was sweet as pie. But when mother-in-law left, oh Lord, the gates of hell broke loose.
Okay. What was so important that you needed to ruin our beautiful evening?
Sit down.
No.
Sit down or I'm gonna tell your mother-in-law what you did.
There was a lot of angry yelling back and forth and a lot of manipulation from my sister, including threats of low contact, no contact, or no seeing possible grandkids in the future. She was trying to get mom to go back to the original plan, $100,000, and mom and dad weren't budging.
Oh, you know what? She's fat and lazy and she can lose a few pounds.
She is not fat.
The fighting continued and stopped when my dad yelled, saying Mom isn't her punching bag and her PPD was not her fault. And if she was that angry about it, go to therapy.
Okay, well, if you're gonna keep attacking me, I'm gonna call an Uber and I'm gonna leave.
You can just go.
You can. Get out of the house.
Just leave.
You guys are gonna behave like this. I'm gonna cut off all contact between you and your future grandchildren.
Make like a tree and leave. I will not deal with this petulance.
What you I love you, cunt. Oh, that's so great. Ew. Ada. Get a room.
Get out.
And that's what's up. We were gonna wait until Christmas time when brothers were back in town so we can discuss what we need as a family to go forward and be healthy. But most likely, will be therapy or cutting sister out. Mom and dad are still figuring out the full budget issue with my sister's in-laws. My parents told them that for such a wedding to happen, everyone would need to contribute. In-laws agreed that $100,000 for a wedding is insane. Last I heard, sister will get her $15,000 for the wedding, which is basically $5,000 because $10,000 dress, since it's already ordered. The other $10K is being held for something tangible. And then her in-laws are being generous and helping with $15,000. 10 to wedding, 5 to honeymoon. As for my schooling, Dad and I are going to the bank and we're going to pay the cancellation fee for the loan I had to take out. The loan officially starts when I go to school, so thankfully the cancellation fee is very small. My dad is paying for the fee because he admits I should have never had to take the loan out. My parents agreed that my first year of university, along with housing costs, will not come out of my budget, the $17K or the $25K, so they will pay themselves. The full amount they budgeted for me is going to be transferred into something called a TFSA for later in life. That's a tax-free savings account.
It's free real estate.
While Mom and I still have a somewhat rocky relationship, sister absolutely hates me. She blamed me for everything.
Typical.
And said I have caused irreparable damage to her relationship with her fiance and in-laws. Because of this, she's banned me from her wedding and from her life. I mean, it kind of sounded like you were gonna go no contact and not go to the wedding anyway, but like, whatever. Honestly, I don't care. I don't really see it as losing a sister. I see it as losing a bully. I made a promise to my mom and dad that I would never treat my younger sister like that. I'm going to be the role model she deserves, and I'm going to be her protector like my brothers and my fathers were for me. Period. I think I covered everything that needs to be covered, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm thankful for the subreddit for teaching me what a real family's about and for teaching me about boundaries and communication. With regards to the sister going to therapy, OP said in the comments, I forgot to mention she did go from 7 to 10 years old. Originally, it was a doctor who spoke to her once a month from 4.5 to 6-ish, but she learned how to say exactly what they wanted to hear, so they discontinued the need for visits. Ooh, people who like claim to be, they claim to have been healed and they know exactly what to say to like a therapist. More common than you might think. As for the fiance, he knows. I texted him a long text and voice message and we talked on the phone for 2 hours. At the end, he kind of just shrugged it off. In hindsight, I think he was in on it. Honestly, they kind of deserve each other if that's the case. He also displays some concerning traits. Okay, cool. I always wonder what it would be like if two narcissists were like together, you know? Do they just manipulate each other constantly? I think this video was definitely like an interesting sort of window into the, like, what causes someone to have narcissistic traits, right? It makes sense that she feels like she was neglected as a child, but at the end of the day, it's also like, just because someone's had a difficult childhood, that's not your responsibility. This is an A1 lesson on how to communicate and express boundaries. My cousin wants me to publicly apologize for what I wore to her wedding. What'd you wear, babe? This story was posted in the Charlotte Dobre YouTube subreddit. This is absolutely crazy, and it just happened to me this past weekend. I just need some outside perspective to see if I'm in the wrong and should apologize, or if I should stand my ground and, quote, tear the family apart.
You're tearing me apart!
This will be a long one, and yes, this actually happened. Do tell. This last weekend was my female 23 cousin's female 25 wedding. She had been with her fiance, male 30s, now husband, for about 2.5 to 3 years-ish. We got the wedding invitation in the mail during the summer and had noticed that there was a dress code. She wanted everyone to wear fall colors and had a link to a website that had approved colors on it, as well as her wedding registry and venue address. Fast forward to a week before the wedding, I look on Amazon and I find this burgundy floor-length dress and some black heels.
Oh, hi.
The colors were approved on her dress code, so I thought all was well, and I tried them on for my husband, male 23, and he said I look great. I'll attach the pictures. Oh, that's cute. You got that on Amazon? Oh my goodness, that is actually so cute. I wore a dress like that. Well, like similar cut to my sister-in-law's wedding. Great dress, great shoes. What's the problem? So, this past weekend was the wedding. We go and watch as they exchange vows and clap as they walk down the aisle, and then we all meet back at the reception. I thought all was well, and once we got to the dining hall, I noticed it's like a buffet style for people to get their food and drinks. I noticed the line is way too long for me, so I send my husband to give our 2 kids to my parents so him and I could go congratulate my cousin and her new husband. When we walk up to my cousin, she does a double take at me after we congratulate them. She asks if she could speak to me privately.
Yellow Phantom Gallery real bad. I think that works.
Oh, pretty strange place to have a little discuss with someone. I mean, don't you have other things to worry about at your own wedding? On the flip side of things, you really shouldn't be worrying about this at your wedding. Like, if she was wearing white, that's one thing. But even the bride, like, isn't really supposed to be the one that says something, you know? Like, you can, but, like, leave that to, like, the bridal party, you know?
I'm sorry. I can't handle this.
Not like a little serious discussion. Once the door shuts, it's like all the fake smiles and warmth disappeared, and she starts berating me about how I wore red to her wedding to try and signify that I wanted to sleep with her husband.
Wait, what?
But that's burgundy. This is burgundy. It would be one thing if you were like her husband's ex or something, but like you're there with your husband. Burgundy is very much a fall color, and you said it was a color that she approved. Oh no.
That's ridiculous.
To preface, I have been with my husband for 9 years. We've been together since we were 15 years old, and we are about to be 24. We have 2 kids together, a boy, 5 years old, and a girl, 6 months. I've also never met her husband.
Dear God.
We lived 2 hours away from them, and the last time I saw her in person, my son was a year old, and she didn't even have a boyfriend at that point in time. She went on to say that I was a salute, and I should be ashamed of myself for wearing something so revealing, and that my husband was probably so embarrassed by me. Oh my goodness. What a B word. What is her problem?
I missed the part where that's my problem.
She's probably mad that you looked like better than her. Oh, people are so predictable. So at this point, I was getting very mad. I had worn a color that she approved on her list, and in my opinion, I looked great and modest, and so did my husband. I'm 5 foot even. I'm currently breastfeeding my daughter, so my breasts are a little over a double D. And since I work out regularly, my waist is slim, and I have a decent sized bottom.
Oh, that's hot!
My hair goes down to my butt, and it's brown with blonde and purple highlights. Okay, so you did look better than her. You sound sassy! Goddamn. She's also very beautiful, but her body is a complete 180 from 9. She's 5'5", she has maybe an A cup, she's got a small waist and almost no booty, but she could still pass as a model. Her skin is perfect, her hair is to her shoulders, and she's blonde. In my opinion, we are both pretty in our own way.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, you're both pretty in your own way, but it's like, I could see her being insecure about how vivacious and athletic you look.
Don't be jelly.
Like, this is 100% about you looking too good. Like, 100%. I told her that couldn't be far from the case. I had never met her husband and was very happy in my own relationship. I had been with my husband for a very long time, and I loved my little family. She was not having it, though, and kept yelling at me, saying I was nothing. And she was embarrassed that I came to her wedding in such a distasteful dress, and that she was gonna tell her daddy on me for ruining her big day by trying to look better than her. There it is. There it is. This is so stupid. I would be so thrilled if someone showed up to my wedding looking like $1 million. And like, quite frankly, you know, there were a couple people who were like worried. You know, they DM'd me and they were just like, oh, like, can I wear this? Like, it has white in it. Can I wear this? Like, this ring, like, it's bigger than yours. And I'm like, honey, ain't nobody gonna outshine me on my wedding day. Just saying. And that goes without saying for other brides as well. No one is going to outshine you on your wedding day. It's not an outshining thing. Like, if they wear something like a white dress, that's them trying to outshine you. No one is going to outshine you on your wedding day unless you let them. At At this point, I'd started to cry. Oh, bestie. She made me feel gross about my body and embarrassed because I was just standing there and she refused to listen to me. I know she was getting loud too because it didn't take long for my husband and mom to find us. My mom had my daughter in her hands and said that she was looking for me because my baby was getting hungry and fussy. Once she looked at me, she immediately knew something was off because I rarely ever cry. Yeah, no, your cousin like fully bullied you.
You gonna cry? Huh?
My husband took my daughter from my mom and walked over to me and grabbed my hand and asked if I was okay. My mom looked around and asked my cousin what was going on and why I was crying. My cousin threw her hands up and said I was acting like the victim because she exposed me for dressing like a tramp and trying to seduce her husband, that I was so obsessed with him and that I had to name my son after him. My son and her husband do have very similar names. Let's say my son's name was Samuel and her husband's name would be Sam. It's not the same name, but it's a longer version of her husband's name. She got an issue with you, man.
What is your problem?
Yeah, like she got problems with you that run real deep. I wouldn't be surprised if this was like some sort of projection, you know what I mean? Like maybe she's the one that like copies you, or like maybe she's the one that like wants to be you and she's accusing you of doing what she's doing. My husband laughed at this and told her our son was named in 2020. There you go. 2 years before she even met her husband. And there was no relation to the name. Oh my goodness. I was wondering about that. Okay, no. She Delulu. She drinking the Delulu lemonade. At this point, it's probably been about 20 minutes and I know guests are starting to wonder where the bride is, and that's when her dad, my uncle, comes outside with her husband to see us. So picture this. I'm standing next to my husband. I have mascara running down my face. My mom and cousin both have their arms crossed, glaring at each other, and my husband is standing there feeling uncomfortable, holding our fussy daughter. My uncle immediately goes to me and hands me his handkerchief from his pocket, while my cousin's husband goes to her and starts to whisper in her ear. I have no idea what he said, but I wipe my eyes and I tell my uncle my husband and I are leaving and that he can ask my mom, his sister, what happened. We get back inside and grab my son from my oblivious dad and say our goodbyes and go to the car where I feed my daughter, then change both the kids into PJs for the 2-hour drive home. The next morning, my cousin sends me a barrage of text messages, Facebook messages, and Snapchats demanding I publicly apologize on Facebook for dressing so scandalous to get her husband's attention at her wedding, and for trying to make it all about me by leaving early, embarrassing her.
This is insane.
What were you supposed to do? Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't in this scenario. Like, if you stayed wearing the dress that she was clearly uncomfortable with, then she would have accused you of, you know, everything she's accusing you of. But you left because she seemed to have an issue with you, and even that's a problem? What did she think was gonna happen? Trying to make it all about me by leaving early, embarrassing her, when my mom and uncle told a few people about what she did because her daddy didn't take her side when she tried to yell over my mom about what happened.
You're weird. Nah, no.
So far, I haven't answered her messages, but she keeps sending more and more every day. If anyone should be apologizing, it should be her. This is a ridiculous thing to be mad about. My husband is completely on my side and is very baffled about this whole thing. My husband and I have been together, like I said, for 9 years, but this was his first meeting of this side of the family. I'm adopted and I only have my uncle on my mom's side. Her parents have already passed away and my aunt is literally a crazy Karen, but that's another story, and we are no contact with her. So would I be the a-hole if I just decided to go no contact with my cousin and refuse to apologize for the dress I wore to her wedding? Or should I just say sorry and save face because of holidays with my uncle? I don't know what to do, but I'm definitely leaning toward no contact because I don't want this behavior in my kids' lives.
You have to trust your gut.
I don't want them to think it's okay to act like this, but if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. I don't think you're wrong. I think definitely low contact at the very least. And like, you don't have to like make it about your kids at the end of the day. Like, this person disrespected you and made you cry over something really dumb, like over jealousy. Like, this is literally over jealousy. You looked better, you looked vivacious, you had curves, and you wore something that showed them off. You didn't wear something that's like lingerie to her wedding. This is a very like modest dress. Like, I'm sorry. Especially if you have long hair that's like covering your shoulders. Like, this is a very modest dress. And tasteful, I might add.
You're pretty cute, you know that?
She's angry that you looked good. And if she's that insecure, like, she's got bigger problems. Let's look at the comments. $10, your cousin found out her new husband cheated on her, so she's hypersensitive to anyone around that could possibly be perceived as a threat. If anyone needs to apologize, it's her, not the gay people. I mean, that's a fair assumption. It could be possible that like she found that out and she's hypersensitive to it. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if this issue, like why the cousin? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this issue ran deeper than that and like probably has a bit of a history there. That, or he made a comment in the bride's presence about how nice OP looked. I mean, but then that wouldn't explain like the double take that she did, you know? She was kind of like surprised to see how good she looked. Whether it was an innocent or creepy comment, the bride took it out on OP instead of the groom. People can't get mad at you for simply existing and looking good. Just saying. Let's not go blaming and assuming the groom is a cheater just because the cousin is a bridezilla. And I got evidence. One, she tried to tell her daddy on the cousin and blamed her he didn't side with his daughter. Number two, she called her cousin a slut for a dress in a color she approved. 2.5, having approved colors at your weddings for guests is just a major red flag. I would somewhat agree with that. Like, it's normal to approve colors for like the bridal party, but like it's your wedding, and if you want people to wear fall colors, then there's dress codes for weddings, you know? Like I told people to wear like pastels or like a bright color or something like that.
You're gonna wear it out of the store, okay? You're gonna treat yourself.
And it wasn't because like I cared if someone showed up in something different. I wouldn't have cared. It was honestly to make the guests look good because of how like colorful the building that we got married in was and like all the colors associated with the wedding. Like I wanted people to like pop with the background, you know? But it was a suggestion. It was not a, like, you're wearing this or you're kicked out. Tried to claim OP named her son after a man the bride hadn't even met yet. Not a single person except OP and OP's husband were surprised by this behavior. No one was happy, but none were surprised. This was not the first time her acting like this. Yeah, I agree. That's why it's like, I feel like this is like a long-standing kind of feeling that this bride had about her cousin.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
So we do have an update. Oh, I know you love that. I want to clear up a few questions that I've seen in the comments. I've tried to read them all, but more and more keep popping up and I haven't had the time to keep up. First off, multiple people asked me who passed away. My adopted mother's parents both passed away about 4 years ago when my son was 1 year old. Second, my son is 5 years old, my daughter is 6 months. Third, the aunt that my family's no contact with is not my uncle's wife. She is his and my mom's adopted sister. She did some crazy things at the funeral and tried to contest the will to get a bigger share of the accents.
You're tacky and I hate you.
And was very mad when she lost in court and is still trying to threaten legal action even though there's nothing left to dispute. Fourth, I will not be posting a picture of my body in the dress. Multiple people have asked to see me in it to get an idea. I think it goes without saying that she's got like a nice body, okay? Just like use your imagination. But I don't really feel comfortable with that. Even if I blur out my background and face, I do not want to read gross and rude comments about what my body looks like or be body shamed again. Multiple said they didn't think I looked good because I'm so short. What the f, you guys? Like, let's not go there, okay? I did wear heels and it made me about 5'4". This is pointless. Like, OP, please don't listen to this shit. I'm sorry, guys. We're cracking down on the like spiciness that's going on in the comments. Just for anyone that's a member of this subreddit, let's keep things like respectful, okay? She showed you what the dress is. The dress is not revealing. What her body looks like is pointless. Pointless to point out. And kind of like body shaming and victim blaming, quite frankly. So let's not go there. Fifth, I don't know why people are so concerned about my hair color. I only added that in for the vision with the dress. All the people that are just kind of picking her apart and stuff like that, stop that. In fact, I'm gonna lock this post right now. Your privileges have been taken away. Some of you have had great ideas on what to post on Facebook to be petty about it. I had a few good laughs at those. I honestly don't know why she mentioned Facebook since I'm not friends with any of her extended family on there. The only people who would even see my post would be her parents, along with my dad's and husband's side of the family. I don't know how I'm supposed to clear anything up since I'm not friends with anyone else that attended her wedding. She might have tried to share it to her page or something, but I've decided that's not happening.
No way, Jose.
On to the update. It's been almost a week since the wedding and 2 days since my post. Not much has happened, but I do have some screenshots from her messages. I've not replied back to my cousin. I did in the beginning, but just stopped replying and currently blocked her. This whole thing was very strange. I feel bad for my mom because she's stuck in the middle of this. I've told her that I won't be attending any more family functions if my cousin's going to be there, and that I was very sorry but didn't want my kids to be around her. My mom understood but is still upset that my holidays will now be spent with my dad's side of the family or my husband's. They rarely get to see her brother since he lives so far away, and holidays were the only time she got to really see him. I've told her she can go without me and we can still do a makeup holiday the day before or after my grandparents' house on my dad's side, and she seems to have accepted this. This is very fair. And like, if anyone should be apologizing, it's your cousin. But honestly, this is like kind of a little bit, we're past apologies at this point. Like, this woman literally took time out of her own wedding to berate and bully a guest for literally no reason. I don't think I'd be able to look this person in the eye for like the rest of my life, especially after using the S word.
Stupid, 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 stupid.
All right, let's look at these texts. I can't believe you just left. You're going to regret this. What did you expect her to do? You didn't want her there in that dress. Oh, and you corrected the grammar. Really? You're so immature. Your mom is literally going around telling everyone that I made you cry. You did, though. Everyone is going to be talking about this. You literally ruined my day. You should know that red means that you want to sleep with the groom. I mean, only if there's like intention behind that. Like if his ex showed up, or like, you know, someone that was single. It's not like a one-size-fits-all rule. And like, furthermore, wasn't burgundy a color that you approved, bestie?
Come on now, dog.
Burgundy was on your approved colors for your dress list. I didn't wear red. Blank also wore burgundy if you saw. His tie and handkerchief was that color. It doesn't mean anything when a man wears the color. It also doesn't mean anything if that was on your approved list of colors. Like, and you expected people to not show up in that. She literally did right by you and wore a dress that was in your instructions. What's the issue? Girl, literally aunt wore the same color button-down shirt. Does she want your man too? I don't even know him. This was the first time ever meeting him and he didn't even look at me.
Who are you?
Ew, you know she's old. She doesn't want my husband. Everyone is going to think I'm a horrible person because you just had to leave crying. Well, you should have thought of that. Like, what do you expect to happen? You call someone and body shame them? Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Oh my god, thank you so much! I'm gonna go get some cake!
I've had multiple people come up to me asking why you left like that. I don't want him. Oh my God. I've been with my husband since 2017. What is your deal? What if my kids were there and saw you yelling at me? You're literally acting crazy.
You crazy?
I'm not crazy. You're the psycho who dressed so sleuthy to my freaking wedding. You're so embarrassing. My husband would never be with you. You need to apologize to us. And do it on Facebook too, because you humiliated both of us with your stunt. I won't be inviting you to anything else until you apologize. Oh no. Do you hear me? Answer my calls. Angry emojis. What is this person smoking? Like, I would stay far away from this crazy person. I would never apologize for what you wore. I would never even speak to this person again. So, are you the a-hole for not publicly apologizing to your cousin on Facebook for the dress you wore to her wedding? No. We got some more spicy family wedding drama for you. I got the sauce, the marinara. I had cereal at my wedding to spite my mother-in-law. What kind of cereal? Frosted Flakes? Froot Loops? French Toast Crunch? I've wondered if I would ever get the courage to post this story, but after a good nap and hours of watching Charlotte reruns, I've decided it's finally time. Some names and specifics have been changed because I'm not about to start drama in my personal life. This is my first Reddit post, so be kind. Me, 29 female, and my husband Jim, 34 male, had been married for 10 years. We were very young when we met and didn't date long before we got married. I was 19 and he was 24. We have a 5-year age gap, but I moved through life pretty fast. Graduated high school at 15, working full-time by 16. And honestly, it didn't seem that weird to anyone who knew us. Anyways, I first met my mother-in-law, Sandy, a few weeks into our relationship. Honestly, she seemed disinterested in me or our relationship. Looking back, I'm pretty sure that's because she didn't think our relationship would turn into something serious or long-term.
You serious?
I would come over and Jim and I would have dinner or hang out watching TV. But Sandy mostly made herself scarce or would have small chats with us about whatever. I don't remember ever thinking she would be a problem. But then came the engagement. The engagement was very beautiful and well thought out. I was extremely surprised and both my parents attended. I asked why his parents didn't come. He let me know he invited them, but they were busy. Immediately after proposing, we called his parents to let them know, and they sounded like he had told them he bought a new pair of shoes or something.
This is so boring.
What did they do?
Oh, that's great, sweetie. What color?
It was strange to say the least, but I didn't dwell on it too much. I was just ecstatic to be getting married. About a week or two later, everything completely changed. Once Sandy saw the ring on my finger and had a realization that we would actually get married, I think something inside her broke. Her disinterest in us turned into a complete fixation on sabotaging our relationship. She became my opposition in every way. I wanted a simple centerpiece bouquet of baby's breath and white roses. She demanded silk flowers. My husband suggested Italian food. She wanted Mexican. We picked a venue on a hill that overlooked the city. She insisted we get married in a garden. Anything and everything we made a decision on, she would argue. She also hated whenever I would show affection to Jim. She would be sure to choose the seat next to him or walk with her hand on his arm. And it felt like she was competing for attention.
Do you think I'm pretty? Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
My husband was always at my defense and always trying to reason with Sandy. Honestly, I think this was a side of her even he wasn't familiar with. It got exhausting. At one point, I kid you not, Sandy actually called my mother and told her I was too young and therefore do not get a say in this wedding. She's not a child bride. If my mother taught me anything, it was to be resilient and resourceful and maybe a little petty. My parents had my back. Prior to my wedding dress appointment, Sandy had made a big point to let everyone know she would be providing the wedding dress as a wedding present. So she's like picking it or she's paying for it. Even walking in, she let me know she had an envelope of cash with her and that I could pick anything I wanted in the store and not to worry about it. No, that's just her way of trying to control you.
I have it under control.
We pulled a few pieces off the racks, including one I had bookmarked on my phone months prior. It was an off-white fitted Oleg Cassini dress with a high-low hem and a large train down the back. It was a satin finish with small straps to hold it up. It was very Audrey Hepburn inspired. Ooh, love Audrey. I literally have a painting of Audrey Hepburn right here. You want to see? I wasn't kidding. She looks at me while I film. Great choice, bestie. I loved absolutely everything about this dress, except for the high-low hem. My mother-in-law, however, seemed to hate everything about this dress and began to berate every single thing I liked. The satin looks cheap. You look too short. And my favorite insult,
Jim would hate that dress.
I wouldn't trust anything this woman says. I bet you anything that you looked so good in this dress. Because she was the one picking the dress, I felt compelled to get the one she liked, even though everyone in my party could tell I didn't care for it. It was a fitted tulle mermaid dress with a sweetheart neckline, just like every other wedding dress that year. Oh, girl, this is the thing. Like, when you let people pay for stuff with your wedding, you're kind of in a position where you have to say yes to a lot of things. Once the dress she liked was chosen, she handed me the envelope and left the store before anyone else even rose from their seats. When I got up to the register to pay, the envelope had less than $200 cash. That's funny. That is funny. It didn't even cover the cost of my headpiece. Okay, then get the dress you want.
Don't you do it! Don't!
She had seen every price tag along with us and knew how much wedding dresses cost. Yeah, wow. I was a little surprised that she was willing to pay for it, considering how much she apparently doesn't like you.
I hate you. You always ruin everything.
The fact that she gave you $200 cash is like laughable. For a wedding dress, like, come on. That's how much she thinks you're worth. She had picked the ones for me to try that were far above that price tag. My group rallied for me and ultimately scrounged up enough money on credit cards to pay for the dress. This is when I decided I was done being nice. I just don't understand why you still picked the dress she wanted. If she wasn't paying for it, then what does it matter? Several months later, when the dress came into the shop, I went to pick it up. I took just my mom. I asked if the dress could be returned, and they told me since it hadn't left the shop or been altered, I could exchange it for another dress of equal or higher value. Game on. My mom and I went back to the Oleg Cassini dress I'd fallen in love with, and guess what? They had it in a full-length form. I tried it on and instantly knew I could not leave without it. I exchanged the dresses. Not only that, but because the Oleg Cassini dress was so much cheaper than my original dress, I also was able to get a full corset bra, full alterations, and upgrade my veil to a longer hand-beaded one.
Hell yes.
We did not tell my mother-in-law anything about it. There were other instances that happened after that, but I always stood my ground. Once my dad and I were talking in a group consisting of my in-laws about how guests needed something to eat prior to the dinner. But after the ceremony, a cocktail hour, and my dad made the joke that sometimes you just really want a bowl of cereal or something. I said that we should have a cereal bar like they have for a continental breakfast at a hotel. Sandy said, "You will not have a cereal bar. Absolutely not. I forbid it. Guess who had a cereal bar? We did. Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's literally like, you forbid it. Forbid what? Who made you the boss?
Clap if you care.
Who made you the manager of the wedding? The guests understood the assignment too, and they went ham. We had all the fancy dispensers and all the different kinds of milk. Almond, 2% oat. We had gluten-free options and low-sugar options. It started as a joke, but I regret nothing. I made sure the photographer got lots of pictures of our guests eating cereal. Anyways, fast forward to our wedding, and Sandy's busy getting ready at a nearby salon, so she didn't have a clue what was going on, being set up, etc., which proved to be awesome because she couldn't fight anyone on anything. I didn't actually see her until she walked down the aisle before me. It surprised me zero that she was wearing a full-length, silver, sequined, fully sequined, mermaid-style gown with a sweetheart neckline. The same style she thought I had purchased.
Ew. You suck.
Oh. Her hair was pulled into a beehive and she had full glam makeup. I'm picturing something, you know that show that's like, this show? Like, I'm picturing like this, you know what I mean? Like this show. Do you guys know this show? That's what I'm picturing. She stood out like a sore thumb. Silver wasn't even one of our wedding colors. It didn't match the style at all. She just looked ridiculous. Like, come on. A beehive, a silver dress, and full glam.
Yeah.
Like, she was so focused on herself that she never realized I switched the dresses. Even to this day, it's never come up. I still laugh when I think about it. Why, she didn't even get mad? It was her moment, bestie. Why would she worry about what you were doing? We've been married now for just over 10 years, and he's still the love of my life. The first few years of our marriage were very, very challenging, with learning how to handle interactions with her. To this day, she doesn't understand why we aren't a close, bonded family. But I've also been through enough therapy to know that there are a lot of mental health issues to unpack there. Jim and I set boundaries and have enforced them through the years. I can honestly say we live a pretty calm life now, like I had imagined all those years ago. Be so for real. This woman is so unbelievably focused on herself that she didn't even realize that you spited her after she specifically forbade you from eating cereal at your wedding.
Yeah, please.
That's a funny plot twist, I have to say. Okay, OP posted, here's the Oleg Cassini dress since everyone's asking. I had a longer train and bustle, not me pictured. Okay, wow. Yes, very Audrey Hepburn. Very Audrey Hepburn, I love it.
I love it.
And it had pockets. Oh my God! Pockets! I'm so glad you stood your ground. I was really kind of expecting her to like have a bit of a freak out, but that is an interesting turn of events. Well done, bestie. 10 out of 10 petty revenge.
Subscribe!
Why did I just put the car? Are you kidding me?
Mother-in-law has lost her mind, as they do. This is not my story, but I am involved, and I've been given permission by my friend and her husband to post this story in its entirety with real names. Ah! Ooh, the tea is hot today. I've known my best friend Kara, 30 female, and her new husband Mark, 32 male, since I was 18. I'm 31. Kara and Mark saved my life once upon a time, but that's a story for another day.
Oh, man.
Is it Kara or Kara? I knew a girl named Kara, so we're gonna go with Kara. Kara and Mark got married in May and just got back from their honeymoon in the Maldives. Ooh, exclusive. Oh, so you got money, I see. Backstory on everyone. Kara did not come from money, but worked her ass off to get to where she is. She is the chief of medicine at a hospital nearby and makes 6 figures a year. She's also the queen of petty. I'll allow it. Mark comes from money. His mother is the source of all this drama. He also makes 6 figures a year. He works in finance. Mark has 3 older brothers, all are married, and none have a relationship with Victoria, the mother-in-law. And she has never met the grandkids. Context! We love a little context. Now on to the story. Mark proposed to Kara in 2023, and our friend group was ecstatic. Kara and Mark are perfect for each other. Both have money, but don't flaunt it. Neither want to have children of their own. Their life, but but they do love children. Mark proposed with a beautiful 4-carat diamond on Christmas. Kara started planning almost immediately. They paid for their entire wedding on their own so no one could make any input they didn't like, but did openly listen to suggestions. They chose a beautiful location on the other coast. Kara originally wanted a destination wedding, but opted for something local so my daughter and I could attend. Well, that's thoughtful. That's nice of her. Changing the whole damn wedding for you, honey. She chose me for her maid of honor, and our closest friends, Amber and Savannah, were her other bridesmaids. My daughter was her flower girl. Victoria has always disliked Kara. No one knows why, because Kara is lovely until you piss her off. But Kara was always on her best behavior with the family. Mario, Mark's dad, loves her. What I think it is that Kara also doesn't want kids and isn't Catholic. Ooh, yeah. I can see how that could be an issue for some people. But to be frank, it's not Victoria's choice. Victoria and Mario are traditional Italian Catholic from the country. Sorry, kicked you. Both were born in Italy, and still hold the traditional values, but Mario just wants his son to be happy. Wow, his name's Mario and he's Italian. Real original! Kara went to Kleinfield for wedding dress shopping. One dress for the ceremony, form-fitting, and one for the reception, flowing and girly. I was there via video chat because I couldn't jump on a plane and go. Everything was great, until... Enter Victoria. Kara thought that integrating Victoria in dress shopping would help release some of the tension between them. Victoria wanted Kara to try on this god-awful turtleneck long-sleeve poofy cupcake dress that just, no. Turtleneck and poofy do not go together, I'm sorry. Like, I like a turtleneck, but it has to be form-fitting. I'm no fashionista, but I know Kara and what works on her body. She tried to appease Victoria. Kara showed us this dress, and she looked at me on the camera and raised her brows. I shook my head and said, "You don't want my opinion." Kara said she did, and that's why I'm here. Victoria, she's not here. She's too busy being a single mom living off the government to be a real friend and attend. I like how this is also written into the script. Silence from everyone, and also us. A moment of silence. Me, take that god-awful dress off. I chose to ignore Victoria's comment, even though I wanted to rip her pinched little head off through the phone. It's not true, and I could tell Kara was starting to get annoyed. Now, Kara does not stand up for herself in the moment. She will wait and address it later. She moves. Kara tried on a bunch of other dresses, all pretty but not what she was looking for. I knew about a dress that Kara had been dreaming about since Mark proposed. What Kara didn't know was that the dress was there. Amber was controlling the phone I was attending on, and I told her to give the phone to the attendant. I told the attendant about the dress and confirmed it was there. I was handed back to Amber and the attendant went on the hunt. Kara got to try on her dream dress. Obviously, she loved it and said yes to it for the ceremony. See, that's a good friend. Even though you couldn't be there, you knew exactly what she wanted, and if it weren't for you, she wouldn't have found it. That's more than I can say for Victoria, who was there in person, and let's just say she was a Victoria, that dress is a little s**ty, isn't it? Well, you're a little s**ty. How dare she insult the dream dress? Kara is starting to get red. Victoria, Mark shouldn't be marrying someone who wants to show off their body like a stripper. Ugh. Does she want you to dress up like a nun? Me. Kara, Victoria, shut the fuck up. Silence. You could hear a fly fart. Oh, do flies fart? Yes, they do! Anything with a digestive system farts. That was kind of unnecessary, but I also appreciate that information. Kara, Victoria, I invited you to try to help our relationship. This isn't your wedding. This isn't the dress you're going to wear. This isn't about you. I love this dress. I feel amazing in it. Shut up or get out. That's on period. Silence. Victoria calling Mark. You won't believe what. Mark, shut up, Mom. I'm on a conference call with Savannah. I heard everything. Hangs up. Oh. Whoa! Epic. And this is how you lose a relationship with your children. 1 week later, Kara and I are sitting in her living room going over some things when Victoria walks in. Victoria, oh, you're here. Me. I am. I was invited. Were you? The sassiness. I'm here for it. Kara's holding onto my arm so I don't get up and slap the bejesus out of Victoria. I'm known as the guard dog in my friend group. Ooh, love a guard dog. Victoria went upstairs and grabbed a couple of things of Mark's and started to walk out, but Kara asked what she was doing. Victoria with a shit-eating grin. I'm taking this in case Mark considers my offer. What offer? Kara and I look confused, but let Victoria leave and we call Mark. Mark, hey babe, what's going on? Kara, your mom just walked in and grabbed some stuff in case you consider her offer. Mark, I'm not. She's batshit crazy. Wait, is she like trying to pay you off to not marry you or something? Is she trying to give him money? Me, what was the offer? Mark, sigh. If I marry Kara, she's cutting me out of her will. Okay, so it is money related. Not a bribe, but blackmail.
Thank you, Cleveland.
Kara starts crying. You'll be fine. You don't need her money. I wouldn't take it if I were you anyway. It comes with strings. Mark, baby, I'm not leaving you. She can sit and rotate. I'm leaving work and heading home. We're going away for a weekend to de-stress. Mark took Kara to a spa on the other coast, 5-star accommodations, and they talked. I don't know all the details about how to handle Victoria going forward. Fast forward to the wedding, May 2024. Kara, myself, bridesmaids, and my daughter are all getting our hair done. The wedding planner, wonderful woman, but scary, came up to us to tell us there was an issue downstairs. Is the issue named Victoria? I went to handle it. Kara did not need to deal with this crap. Victoria was trying to get into the bridal suite to get ready. Not happening. The mother of the groom doesn't get ready with the bride. She huffed and left. Way too easy. Now I'm nervous. Oh, she moving in the shadows too. Bet your bottom dollar. One thing I should mention, I have a seizure disorder, but I take medication that prevents me from having them. Victoria knows nothing about my health. We're getting ready to do the procession. Everything looks great. Out of the corner of my eye, I see something shiny and white. I ignore it for a second, but you know, curiosity killed the cat. Victoria is in a wedding dress. Got another one, eh? I'm just so tired.
Me too.
Listen, if you're not subscribed, if I haven't hit 2 million or 10 million subscribers at this point, subscribe. Let it be known. You do not wear white to a wedding, and you most certainly do not wear a wedding dress to someone else's wedding, unless you are the bride. A big, poofy ball gown. Oh, hell no, not today, not to my best friend. Kara and Mark had security to prevent things like this, so Victoria wasn't allowed in. Haha. The ceremony was beautiful, and after pictures, I go with Kara to get her changed into her reception dress. I let her know about Victoria, and she gives me the look. What was the look? Was it like this? The look is something that we as a friend group have. When we go to the bar, the look is what they give me when I need to activate guard dog mode. I understand the assignment. I'm not supposed to drink on my meds, so I don't. So when I'm walking around with a super colorful, stain-including cocktail, my friends are looking at me weird. I give them the look. And they nod. God, you know you're a good friend group when, like, you can have an entire conversation without speaking. They understand the assignment, too. Kara and Mark are enjoying the night, and I made my way to Victoria. People are giving her looks, but she's acting obvious to them, and her husband is hiding from her. I thought she wasn't allowed in. Why is she at the reception, bestie? Oh, I know why. I wave to her, and I make my way over to start a conversation. I had a seizure. That's good. And started convulsing and grabbed onto Victoria on the way down. Drank all over her dress, and we go tumbling into the damp and muddy flower bed. To Victoria, it looked like I was really having a seizure. Amber and Savannah rush over, concerned. Kara and Mark are unaware of what's happening. I'm tended to, and Amber helps me up. I have a few scrapes from where I landed, but I could care less. Victoria has mud on her ass and cocktail on her front. Guess that pretty white dress was ruined. Oh well. Oopsie. It was simply an accident. Victoria starts screaming, and Kara and Mark are aware of what's happening. Mark looks annoyed, and Kara is trying not to smile and failing. Victoria, look what this did to me. Look what you did. Mark, you shouldn't have worn white. Mina, you know you can't drink with your meds. Are you okay? Do you want to go get checked out? Kara, Mina, do you need help getting to a chair? Amber, can you help her? Me, feigning faint. I could use help, thank you. I'm so sorry about this. I thought one drink would be okay. That's perfectly fine, bestie. It's a health problem. Can't help it. Victoria, how dare you? You ruined my dress. You're going to have to pay for that. I mean, not if it was an accident. Mario, Victoria, stop. Mario!
Victoria, stop. She has a medical condition. Let it go.
Take that ridiculous dress off. You aren't the bride, and you cause nothing but problems. Divorce! Divorce her! I know you're Italian and Catholic, but f it. Can you just say that you've married Satan by accident and the Pope won't have a problem with it? I don't know my grandkids because of you. Get your shit together or I'm done. Good for you, Mario. I think that maybe this is cause for divorce. I'm just saying. She's not gonna change. I rested after my episode for a while before rejoining the party. Victoria never came back and the whole scene is on film, video and photo. Kara and I laughed about them the other day. I must say, I thought I was rather convincing. And the Oscar goes to... Fast forward to 3 days ago, Mario is divorcing Victoria. Yay! And going to New York to see his grandkids. Yay! Victoria is still complaining that I ruined her dress. Mark and Kara are happy. Amber is now engaged, and Savannah is still single like me. Yay! I'm happy for all my friends, and I have been dying to share this story. Well, I've been dying to hear it, darling. Thank you for sharing. Great success. I need a bulldog like you in my friend group. No, we have a bulldog. We do have a bulldog. She moves in the shadows, but she's still a bulldog. Very well written also. That was very, very fun to read. Thank you so much for sharing. Female Mechanic 92. Mina, we love you here. But wait, we have an update. I have been given permission to tell all from the friends who didn't want to be involved in the post. It's too sweet a tea to be omitted. As we all know, Kara and Mark got married. What I didn't put in is that Amber and Savannah also had words with Victoria, but they didn't want their conversations recorded here. Their minds have changed because Victoria really lost the plot and began attacking them through text. She's done it to me too, but I'm not worried about it. Amber has informed me and showed me the messages from Victoria after the wedding. Victoria, how dare you let that bitch ruin my dress? I ordered it from Kleinfield and paid a fortune. These are the consequences of your actions. What did you think was gonna happen? Amber, you mean the wedding dress you wore to a wedding where you were not the bride? I didn't let Mina do anything. She had a seizure. Calm down. Victoria, she owes me money for the dress. Note how she doesn't actually deny the audacity to wear such a dress. Oh, duly noted. Exhibit A, a lack of denial. Amber, good luck trying to get her to pay for it. She'll fight you first. She's been dying for a reason to punch that pinched face of yours. A pinched face, eh? Like, what's a pinched face? Is that like, Victoria, she wouldn't hit me, would she? Victoria, I wouldn't punch you. Like, I'd hit you. I'm kidding. I do not encourage violence! Most of the time. Amber, if she didn't have a seizure, she would have knocked your butt out like she was in an MMA ring trying to win $1 million. Victoria stopped messaging her after that, but Amber is right. I just needed the green light to punch that woman. Savannah also told me about her messages with Victoria, and then I'll share my phone call with her. And the messages sent to Kara and Mark while they were on their honeymoon, which were ignored. Victoria, hello, Savannah. I don't know if my number is saved in your phone like those other awful girls. Oh, so trying to get somebody on your side, I see. But this is Victoria. Mina and Amber's attitudes toward me have been awful. If you could please tell Mina she owes me $7,800 for my dress, I would appreciate it. You spent $7,800 on a dress, on a white ball gown to wear to someone else's wedding? That sounds like a you problem, Victoria. Exhibit B, a you problem. Savannah, that's gonna be a hard pass. Mina ain't paying for shit. She had a seizure. Back off. The number for Victoria has been blocked. Victoria to me was not nice. Victoria, you and I need to talk. Me. Who is this? Her number is saved in my phone. I just wanted to have fun. Nice. Who's this? Oh, Victoria. Sorry, who? Victoria. Doesn't ring a bell. Victoria, is this Mina? Me. This is she. Who's this? This is Victoria, Mark's mother. You know, the woman you fell into at the wedding. Oh, you mean when I had a seizure? I'm so sorry about that. You didn't get hurt, did you? I got some scrapes and bruises from it, but my doctor said I'm all good. Great. Look, you owe me money for that dress. Do I? Why? Huffing. Yes, you do. I paid $7,800 for that dress. I expect to be reimbursed. Why, were you gonna wear it again, Victoria? Me. Where on earth did you pay that much for such a tacky dress? Nice. Kleinfield, the wedding dress shop. Was it a wedding dress? Well, because that would be weird. You wearing a wedding dress? You didn't get married. Why would you have bought a wedding dress? Because she's a cunt. Victoria, I wanted to look perfect for my baby's special day. You're insane. Victoria, if you ever see this, I'll send you $7,800 for therapy. No, I won't. But it's a nice thought. It's the thought that counts, right? And a gown from Saks couldn't do that? Silence. Because I'm sure you are well aware wearing white, let alone a full-blown wedding dress to someone else's wedding, even if you don't like them, don't deny it. We all know you hate Kara, but no one understands why it is tacky and rude. You're lucky no one accidentally spilled something on you. Did you? Oh God, no. I had a seizure. That's a serious medical condition. No one can fake a seizure. Missed call from Victoria ×5. I turn off my phone. Kara and Mark got bombarded by calls and texts from Victoria, but all went unanswered. Are you gonna do anything about how I was treated? How dare that little bitch spill her drink on me? Why aren't you answering? Hello? Mark, my baby, please respond. Ain't no baby anymore. Tell your father not to go through with this divorce. Mark, please. Mark, I need you right now, and you're not answering because of that whore you married. She only married you for the money. I'm sure of it. Missed calls ×42. To Kara, how dare you take my baby, you f***ing whore. You better not hurt him. I think you hurt him enough for the both of you. For a lifetime. I hope your plane crashes and my baby survives. I knew I should have set him up with that good Catholic girl in our hometown. You mean a good Catholic girl like you? Answer the phone. Missed calls times 20. She has absolutely lost it. I hope she gets help, but I will be here in case Mark or Kara need a buffer for her crazy. This was very valued context. I am so pleased to hear all of this. Sorrows, prayers for Victoria. I pray she finds solace in God. What did the Bible say? Was it something like, love thy neighbor? My future mother-in-law ruined my wedding dress by attempting to try it on. It's beyond repair. Can I take her to court? You can take her to this court. Excuse me. I'm located in Virginia. I purchased a wedding gown that cost me over $11,000, then paid substantially more in alterations. Over the weekend, my future mother-in-law decided to attempt to put on my dress and failed horribly.
Why would you do that?
Absolutely not. Long story short, it's beyond repair and completely ruined. I also have a reason to believe that she caused deliberate damage to the dress because of certain areas that were torn. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. I mean, I don't know your mother-in-law, but like, why even try it on in the first place? My fiance doesn't believe that we're able to take her to court and recoup the money because it's just a... What did he say? It's just a dress? It's not just a dress, it's your wedding dress! Divorce. The wedding's off. I've decided. He thinks the cost of the dress doesn't meet some financial threshold to sue her. Yes it does. Small claims. You can sue someone over much less than that. I want to know if that's true and if it would be feasible to file a police report on her because of the more deliberate damage. I know it's just a dress, but this goes beyond the dress. It's not just a dress. It's not. And the fact that your fiance doesn't see how serious this is a problem.
I'll knock some sense into him.
Your fiance is incorrect. You can absolutely sue her for the value of the dress plus the alterations. If you can document that the dress is beyond repair. However, this is not taking into consideration the relationships aspect of the issue. So you really want to take it there and get some more practical advice on how it's going to affect your relationship with your future husband. You don't have a future husband, babe.
You have a future dumbass.
I'm dead serious. Sue them all. Update to mother-in-law that ruined my dress. The wedding is off. Yes! Yes! Oh, this has healed me. I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's awful. It's awful. But, like, the whole situation is awful. You know? Hey, everyone. First of all, thank you for all your sweet comments and support. I'm sorry that I haven't kept everyone in the loop, but the last several weeks have truly been trying, to say the least. First things first, the wedding is off. We are still together and remain engaged. But things are very, very strained between us. Hey. Sorry. I don't mean to celebrate, but like they should be, because that's honestly kind of unacceptable. Even though it's his mom, like he's trying to just like minimize the situation and not recognize how serious this is, and that's not okay. The only thing that has really stopped me from leaving the relationship is that I love him from the bottom of my heart and I can see how much this is hurting him. I really want to work past this if we can. We're both committing to seeing a couples therapist. After my mother-in-law ruined my dress, my fiance confronted her by telephone and demanded that she help cover the damages to the dress. Okay, fair. That's like, he should have, like, yeah. She refused because she said it was an accident and said she really was just trying to help. Help with what? How does that help? Who's that helping? She tried to spin this as her